figured if we're going to have a guest, we should probably light him properly.
Turn him on the lights.
Yeah. Give him his best possible chance at looking good.
I can't find my light anyway, but this is nice.
Yeah, feel free to slide over. You know, get cozy here. Let the folks at home see you.
We're 6 inches apart.
Nice.
Yeah, hey, whatever. We've been all pre-tested. Yeah, all good to go here.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. Welcome to the show, guys. We had a light missing there. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We have a really good show for you guys today. If you have never seen the show before, you're an idiot. But if you have, and you actually came back, you're also an idiot. No, just kidding. My name's Nick. This is
not Nick.
This is not Nick. This is Kevin.
Still not Nick.
And this is our guest today, Jason. Jason, say what's up to everybody.
What's going on?
He's going to be our third idiot today. We love having people on the show, man. They always bring a different story. Everybody has their own story to tell, something cool, something unique to bring to the show. Jason has done it all. He is MMA part ninja. He's an actor. He's done motorcycle stunts. I just made that up.
I'm sure everybody, any kid who had a motorcycle,
there was a lot.
Stunts were done.
Okay, cool. That's what I make sure. And he's from New Jersey, which we won't hold him against him for most of the show. But he's got some really cool stories to tell. He's got some cool stuff he's gonna bring to the show. Allegedly, no pressure.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
We love that alleged.
Yes,
world.
Everything's alleged.
Do you have your phone on again?
No, not me.
Do I have my phone?
Yeah, probably. Amateur hour. All right. As always, man, we'd like to start the show with a quick shout out. And everybody's, there's a lot of people that make this show a little bit more possible for us. People have shown a lot of support. So I actually have a couple shout outs today. I want to shout out an Instagram handle of all things that actually gave us a really nice shout out. It's an Instagram that shouts out podcasts that they like and they've seen. So Get Mumbler, appreciate the shout out today. They shared with all their fans today that said that they've watched our podcast, thought it was funny.
Only had 7 fans, but it was still a nice shout out.
Yeah, but it was like 7 really important people, so that was really nice. Also want to shout out my boy Joe. Joe had a really nice shout out for us as well today. Always got to shout out my man Paul moderating in chat. If you say something stupid, you're getting banned. He's slapping the ban hammer down. Appreciate that, Paul. Y'all got any shout outs? Jason, you got a shout out?
Yeah, of course. I have to shout out my beautiful wife, Caitlin.
Beautiful.
I know she's watching, probably.
if she got it to work yet.
Yeah. No, she's a lot smarter with that than I am. Okay. And of course, my parents, my beautiful parents back in Jersey. Thank you.
No chance they're watching though.
No.
We'll record it for him and we'll send it to him.
Who knows?
Yeah,
it's 2020, dude. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
I would also like to shout out Jason's wife.
Fantastic, great stuff.
She's a lovely lady. Met her once.
Very beautiful.
She's a saint.
Yeah, putting up with this guy in and of itself.
I've said that.
Yeah, he's batting above his weight class.
You literally, once you get married, I actually really do feel like this. As soon as you get married, you start to really believe like that person was out of my league. I'm not sure 100%.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, like, from the day we met, it's something. It's not something that I haven't said before.
It's like to her face. It's also like when you're single, you really think like I'm a pretty good catch, right? But then when you're actually together with somebody, you're like I'm a completely insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I've always known I was a piece of shit.
Apparently, your wife's already in the chat. Letting us know it's a smart shout out.
Nice, yes. Welcome to the chat there. Appreciate the follow. And as always, we do like that. We hate to do this thing, but we got to do it. If you guys are new and you haven't given it a shot, we do have an Instagram. We'll let you guys know when the shows are, but we are every Monday and Thursday, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 Eastern. And as our moderator just put in the chat there, if you guys want, actually didn't do it there, but if you guys want, you can actually link your Amazon Prime to this, and you guys can give us free monthly revenue every month if you guys want. It's a really cool subscription service they have. And there it is, Paul, right on cue, dropped in the chat.
Plus, we love that we steal money from Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
because it literally doesn't cost anybody anything, and it just gives us money.
You hook it up, you hit a button, it gives us $5. It takes $5 from Jeff Bezos.
Directly from his pocket. Literally, people just walk up and take money out of his pocket.
Card declined.
Yeah, Jeff, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. A lot of twitches.
We did a story last week where Lamb was able to figure out that if you were born in the Egyptian era when the pyramids were being built 4,500 years ago, and from that day forward you made $100 grand every day until today, you would still be 40 billion short of Jeff Bezos.
Is that true?
That's true.
Yeah. Really?
100 grand for 5,000 years, you'd be short. Wow. That just lets you know how far you guys are behind. Yeah. So you're gonna need
my account's a little low.
500 grand for the next 1,000 years, and you might be a little bit close.
Well, he can't take it with you, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, he'll figure out a way.
Yeah, that's 100% true. All right, so let's get started here. We always like to start the show on something Kind of fun, kind of positive. Lamb, you actually had something for him today. Is that right?
Yeah, well, Jason being a New Jersey guy,
You're from
me
New Jersey?
being a New Jersey guy, I figured we'd start out with a little Jersey quiz.
Yeah, you can't.
True, false. We'll keep it easy, keep it quick.
Sure.
I have not seen this quiz before, so I don't know anything about Jersey, so I'm completely staying out of this.
All right, first question. New Jersey has the best bagels. True or false?
True.
Correct.
That is okay. All right, we're off to a really rough start here.
All right, true or false? New Jersey has the best pizza.
True.
Okay.
Correct.
This quiz is a little easier than I was hoping for.
If it's all food related, Jersey.
All right, number 3. The best diners are in New Jersey.
Fact.
True.
Okay, you know.
win. All right, we got one more.
All right,
Shout out Pelican
okay,
Queen
we're
Diner,
starting.
Route
This
23.
quiz is starting to be a little biased here. I feel like you didn't do your due diligence.
Apparently, your mom is watching too.
Oh my goodness,
Hey, Mom.
Mama J in here. All right, all right.
All right,
Number one
final
fan,
question.
My wife and my mom.
True or false? Pumping your own gas is lame.
It's false. Not true.
True.
It's
True.
so-
All right.
Yeah, 100% true.
One of New Jersey's catchphrases is we don't pump our gas, we pump our fists. So that was a big one.
Actually, that's kind of a cool phrase. I was gonna hate on that, but I actually really like that.
You'd hate it if you grew up in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's copyright that. Oh, you just got copyrighted. There you go. But now you can put it on a T-shirt. Actually, I really do like that phrase.
Yeah.
We don't pump our own gas, we pump our own fists. That's kind of badass, dude.
I like it.
But you
Let's
said
roll.
if I grew up there, I'd be completely tired of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. That was at the height of like the whole Jersey Shore thing. So it was
The Jersey Shore thing is infuriating if you're
Yeah.
from New Jersey because none of them are actually from New Jersey.
I was gonna ask because I know that gives you like like if somebody takes a state or an area and then one show comes out and they're all losers, everybody just assumes that everybody's like that.
Yeah.
There's
None of them are from New Jersey.
There's a small pocket of people that act like that, or did it turn people to act like that?
There were people that acted like that.
for sure there are people that
Okay,
act like
okay.
that, but we just never thought like they'd get airtime.
And then when they did actually get popular,
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah. Those are the losers, dude. Like, yeah. Okay, well, that makes me feel
yeah,
better.
those are the people we made fun of in high school.
Yeah.
Okay, but is that a specific area, or is that a type of personality?
A little bit of both, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a small pocket of Central Jersey that's very much like that.
Okay.
And then like Staten Island, parts of New York, a little upstate New York, stuff like that.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Okay.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Yeah,
Unless you're Paulie D and then you're from Rhode Island.
I went to Jersey one time,
Which makes no
Transplant.
sense.
learned to surf, and on that beach, though, it was a completely dry beach. You weren't even allowed to bring alcohol, like on the boardwalk, anything. And I'd never been to a beach that was so serious about it. So
This is in Jersey?
yeah, in Jersey. So kind of interesting to me. All right, but let's start off.
We never followed those rules.
I've never been to a beach to anybody follow that rule. So yeah, it was kind of like I thought that's what the point of going to the beach was. So we always like to start this show again on a very positive note. We like to get you guys started with at least a good story. We feel like you guys are completely inundated with Trump and COVID and garbage. So we think that maybe you've missed some good stories. So Lamb started off with a good story
All
here.
right, so this one I love. Old Navy is going to pay their employees to work at the election polls. So usually polls are volunteer-based, and right now with COVID and everything, they're having trouble finding people willing to volunteer because obviously you're going to see huge numbers of people.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that they're definitely struggling to find people.
Yeah,
I'm sure, right?
So Old Navy said if you're volunteering, you don't have to work. It'll give you off-time work, and they'll pay you for 8 hours of work.
And this is
if you're an employee
nationwide as a company?
Yeah, as a company.
Wow.
I mean, Old Navy also owned by Gap, so I'm assuming maybe it'll extend into the Gap employees too.
I think
They said I think they have like 50,000 employees too.
Wow. I mean,
Wonder
for
how
me,
many would actually do it?
I was gonna say I would do it just for the
I know,
for the say I did it.
I mean, that's a point of pride.
I would put it on my
And you're
college
getting paid.
resume
Yeah,
maybe if I was in.
Are they still allowed to vote?
Yeah, polling people can vote.
I think you're allowed
Yeah,
to vote
yeah.
as much as you want if you do it.
Yeah, if you're in North Carolina, I think if you're in North Carolina, apparently you're allowed. They want people voting.
I voted 1,100 times today for a bunch of different people.
I'm worn out.
Yeah, Kanye West was in there. I was just rattling
Donald
up.
Duck.
Yeah. SpongeBob got 3 votes. Somebody in the chat did say that Bagels Pizza having someone put my own gas was in the below freezing temperature are my highlights from living there. So you guys actually did nail that. That's actually kind of funny. All right, so that's a really nice story. I like that. We have talked a lot about the fact that polling and voting is going to be a massively difficult adventure here, so we thought that was really cool. The other story we'd like to start off, positive story. It's a really small story. I just thought it was cool. You can't read mine right. That's why I read it. So
Yeah.
I know where the show's going, and you look clueless the whole time.
Yeah, you should literally see this, folks. It's literally like reading hieroglyphics.
Okay. Like,
except hieroglyphics like relate directly to the action. You're like, oh, it's a bird. I get it. No.
If anybody's
remember those like fat pencils we used to get when we were first learning how to write?
Yeah.
And it looks like that.
That's
Well, oh my God. It's like written. It might as well be written in crayon.
I'll tell you this. I don't write anything ever anymore. I know that's like a dumb thing to say, but like I don't use a pencil for anything at all.
I love writing in pencil.
Right, but you're a teacher. Like that's different. I'm saying like if you work in an office, you type.
Educator.
If you work, business, you type. You don't write anything. Nobody's writing like hand memos. So my handwriting is, well, it's just been poor forever. That's really not an excuse. But the story that I wanted to talk about was.
What's the story? I'll see if I can find it real quick.
It's the lawnmower guy.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a advertising executive.
Just going to Google lawnmower guy. You think it's going to come up?
Absolutely not. There was a advertising executive here recently who got laid off and said that he had always wanted to do something good for his community, but he strapped 10 hours a day for years now. And so he started his own website where everybody in his neighborhood, if you're a senior citizen or a veteran, you can just go to his website and he will cut your grass for free. I can find you the link if you want. That's all right.
You know his name?
No. Wow. No.
How are we supposed to shout him out?
You know what? You're right. You know what? We should shout this guy out. If he's doing something great, we should give him a shout out. All right.
There's the thing, cutting with care. This one will work
suffice for now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Jersey man.
Yeah,
Brian Schwartz. Brian Schwartz of New Jersey. Wow, that's a really part of the story. So yeah, type in that.
E-R-Y?
Brian Schwartz.
Brian with an I or Y?
I. I didn't know what you were asking for to spell.
Schwartz.
Oh, do you still hold a pen and pencil weird? Oh, my God. I absolutely hold a pen and pencil weird. We're going to do that just for a second. Is there a pen in here? Okay, so for me, I got yelled at a lot, but I know everybody else holds it like some version of this.
Yeah.
I hold it in between the ring finger and the middle finger.
That's weird.
Yeah, so
I think were you trained to be a doctor?
No, I just kind of chisel my words out.
Yeah, Fred Flintstone style.
Yeah, I would say my essays take a lot longer, but they're beautiful. No, so where's our guy here? Man laid off to pretend. Hey, there he is. Man, look, he's even wearing a mask. All right, what's up? Can you scroll down so I can see what the guy's called? What's his website? I just want to see his website real quick so we can shout him out. Oh, IWantToMowYourLawn.com. I should have remembered that.
Creative.
It's very original. Full screen it, Kev. You just got yelled at. I don't know. Don't worry about that.
Thanks, Schwartz, man. You're a nice guy doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you don't come across some of those older folks that are anal about their lawns getting cut.
Left to right and a perfect angle.
You missed a spot.
Yeah,
Well, it's free, pal. So
apparently, the number one thing he's gotten is most people keep offering to pay for the actual gas of his lawnmower, and he said, like, I don't want anybody paying for anything. Like, I want to do everything. I want to do everybody a favor. So
what if they're like outside sources? Like if we want it,
yes, that's correct. So he does have a part where you can donate money for his gas, but I guess he's trying not to. Checkerboard pattern, right?
Yeah. Do I get to request you gonna do the edging too? Like I want this to look nice, maybe mulching.
Like all the leaves off. You coming back for spring cleanup? What's going on?
I've got a knot in my shoulder.
It was breezy last night. There are twigs in the yard.
Yeah. My gutters are clogged. It's like it doesn't work for you. He's just doing you a favor. So shout out this guy. And I want my lawns mowed. All right.
Yeah, shout out Schwartzy.
Shout out Brian Schwartzy from New Jersey. But let's go ahead and get in here. We have a guest on a show for a reason.
Because we're not that interesting.
We're two dumb idiots. Jason, let's start here real quick. You do acting, you do all sorts of different things, and actually you told me off air that you just got done feature-length film. Is that right?
Yeah, so I've moved out to Los Angeles from New Jersey to pursue acting. And yeah, just finished up a film last year. It's called Beneath the Green. I got to work with a lot of fantastic people on that, one of them being Eric Roberts.
Cool.
Which was cool.
He was the main star in it?
He was like sort of their, not the main star, but like the guy we were trying to get after.
Okay,
yeah. I got the opportunity to just coordinate all the stunts and fight scenes in that too, so that was a lot of fun.
Really?
Yeah, with my Jason, the director, trusted me enough with my martial arts background to sort of coordinate all the fight scenes and stuff like that. A lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu moves, some striking.
Did you know that going in, or was that like after you got casted, they were like, oh, we also need somebody to do this?
No, I think they, if I'm recalling correctly, I think they wanted somebody with a background just because of the physicality. They weren't looking for anybody to do that.
Okay.
So I kind of just stepped in.
Okay.
Volunteered.
Okay, was that like
more Schwartzy over here?
We kind of talked about this. I don't know where it was. We were talking about this recently, but how when I was an actor, you weren't allowed to bring certain things it's a faux pas to show up like I'm a motorcycle guy and show up with like a motorcycle hat on. Like it's kind of a faux pas.
Yeah.
But I said one time the role was a drummer, and I came in and showed that I could play the drums in a monologue, and it got me the role. I didn't know if maybe you had like worked like some martial arts into like
You bring in a heavy bag, maybe another person with mitts.
Put the director in like a full Nelson.
No. Thankfully, it wasn't anything like that. They were looking more so for the talent.
Okay,
the acting talent. The other stuff came later. So
very cool. Is that out already?
That is not out yet. Last I heard, they were finishing up some smaller shots that didn't require a ton of filming. And now they're in their final stages of it, I believe, post-production, which is they're finishing up the editing.
But you're done.
I'm all done. Yeah.
Cool, very cool. And in that, what do you play?
My character in that his name's Dante, and I play sort of like the unhinged guy, the guy that's sort of like not quite sure which side he wants to be on yet.
All right,
so it's like
a little bit of dark.
Yeah, a little bit of dark, a little bit of lightheartedness.
Very cool. Okay, and something we did talk about off air with you is that is kind of a shtick that you have kind of casted a lot. It's kind of a dark, shady character. Is that right?
Yeah, that's like we were talking about it earlier. One of the things that they tell you in acting classes or training, it's play your strengths.
Yeah.
So it's like that was kind of my background. I always wanted to be like the tough guy. I'm not. My wife will tell you I'm a pussy. So I always wanted to play the tough guy, and all like action stars and action movies were a huge part of my adolescence and growing up. So I always wanted to be that. But yeah, so the majority of the roles that I've been cast in have been sort of that the tougher kind of guy, like I said, like the abusive boyfriend or the drunk or somebody that's got an attitude problem.
Okay, but I will say this from somebody that's acted a lot. And when you get cast, everybody like I said off air, everybody wants to be Leo, everybody wants to be Matthew McConaughey, everybody wants to be like the star in the movie, right? But if you've acted a lot, those roles kind of suck. Like the actual fun roles in acting are the crazy British uncle or the
it's a lighter characters, like the drama stuff. That's not fun.
No.
Like I never really wanted to be that kind of guy that would go to set and just be like, all right, man, I got 8 hours of crying today.
Do you think Daniel Day-Lewis is out there like having fun?
Yeah, no. He's not learning how to make shoes because he enjoys it.
No.
The guy's he's a phenomenal talent. Of course, it's just like you have to be a certain type of person to get like that immersed.
For sure. I also just think that like the lead role requires some depth, but a lot of these other characters, they're maybe psychologically damaged or they're insane. And I for me personally, that is way more challenging to get into, and I think it's it's more fun. It's a bigger challenge, like I said. So I like roles like that. Like
it's fun playing the bad guy. I mean, you get to you just get to be a bully, and it's not fun being a bully, but it's like there's something about playing the bad guy that's like it's not playing yourself, so it's like you get to experiment with like being mean.
You're truly acting at that point, right?
I always wonder that. I don't have like unlike you guys, I don't have like an acting background, so like I always wonder what it's like to be mean or like an asshole or like like play like a rapist or something like that. Like I just don't quite like I don't know if I could like step into that. I'd be like, I don't know if I want to like get in there. Like
you got to get close, but you don't want to get too close, right?
I feel like I step too far, I'm gonna fall in that pond, and all of a sudden I'm gonna.
That's super true.
One of the last short films I did, you can find it on YouTube. It's called Leaving. I played an abusive boyfriend who's got like a substance abuse problem, and it's like it's interesting to get into like sort of the head of that person, but being that person, especially on sets, like it gets scary,
right?
Especially if you're really in it. It's like there's violence there's sweat, there's tears. It's like it feels real, and it's like
you probably kind of, at least I don't know what kind of actor you are, but you probably at least when you got to set started to get in that mode for a very long time, right? It's not you're not a bad guy for 8 minutes and then you go home and you're done. You're a bad guy for hours.
Right. It's like I'm not choking her around, like, hey, you want a cigarette? Like, we're done when they call cut. It's like, okay, let's go chill out.
Got cantaloupe over there? Yeah, right.
Sweating, your eyes are swollen. It's like, they're terrified.
Ooh, peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, thank God it's fake sometimes.
Right. I tell Lamb one of the funniest things I played was like this. It was like this Russian waiter, and he was goofy and charming and ridiculous. I told Lamb for hours before I'd go on stage, I would sit in the room and I'd invite people in and I'd talk to them in this character and I'd like them laugh. But that was my way of really falling into it. So that way when I was on stage, I didn't forget it. But if it's a bad guy, I mean, that's a goofy, fun character. A bad guy, which was like pull people in the room and start punching them. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's like I would turn on like Slipknot or something.
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, no. Yeah. Very
angry.
Trying to
Very
contain my screams and
So you moved out here from New Jersey,
right,
to pursue the acting. But you said your background is in actual theater.
So my background, I never had an acting background prior to graduating high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I never acted in anything.
No high school theater.
No high school theater, nothing like that.
Oh,
So
wow,
it's
okay.
like, it wasn't something that was, nobody really wanted to do that growing up. It was, you got like a full-time job once you got out of high school or you went to college. It wasn't something that like, even growing up, it's like if you did theater, it's like, the stigma was like either you were gay or, something was, wrong with you.
For sure. No,
which
same,
was, like,
same
part
way.
of the environment that we grew up. So it's like growing up, we grew up in that kind of like macho environment where it was,
100%.
Sports, cars, money, and then like you go off and do your own things.
Yeah.
So
Let's keep chatting.
Acting was kind of looked down upon, and same for me. And every time my friends, I mean, I had like a eclectic group of friends. I'm sure you did, but I started doing theater, and my friends were kind of like, they were kind of confused by it. They thought that's kind of the dorky thing to do, right? Like they didn't understand it. And for me, it's like, maybe the actual art of studying theater comes off as dorky, but being on stage is an adrenaline rush. So,
it's one of the scariest things you've ever done.
For sure.
It's terrifying. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it wasn't until after high school that I really started considering it. It's like I didn't have sort of the drive or the desire to go to college, so I tried like 2 weeks at a community college. Shout out CCM, Randolph, New Jersey. What's going on?
What does that even stand for?
County College of New Jersey.
Okay. Sorry.
Which county? Which county did you go?
CCM. So Morris County.
All right.
Yeah.
No,
Harvard on the Hill.
we had Bergen Community College, BCC, baby.
Yeah.
Well, I just imagine there's like a million CCMs, so I was like, I'm curious, give them a real shout out, All right, but go ahead.
But I think I did like one of the electives there was like a drama class or like a theater class. And like I said, like 2 weeks in, I found out like you actually have to perform at the end of the year. I was like, I don't want nah. So and then like there were other things. I just joined the workforce and tried to make money and try to just do my own thing. I was living like the bachelor's life. It was cars, motorcycles. I just pretty much did whatever I wanted.
How was that first scene?
Pardon me?
How was the first scene in college that you had to actually perform in?
So it was. I don't even know what it was. It was something that the students had written.
Okay.
So they didn't even give it to us yet. So the whole like first couple of classes was just like, bring in a monologue.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is a monologue?
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you.
And then you're like, long one will be a good one.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I guess they want something really long. Then I didn't realize, I'm like, I got to memorize this? I should have went shorter.
Yeah. I'm going to do the speech from Independence Day.
Exactly.
The first time you do a monologue for real, you go and everybody almost comes in with like the same 4 monologues too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and then I'm like, this is way before Google was even that huge. It's like I'm trying to Google or ask Jeeves. What's a monologue? Male monologue.
And they always shit out a monologue that is legitimately not from a play or not from anything. And that's really weird. In that industry, it's actually super frowned upon. If you get like a monologue and it's not from anything, people hate it.
Right.
Like, you go into like audition, you're like, this is so and so. Like, what's it from? They're like, oh, it's just something. They're like, oh, because they feel like you're just catering to your own, like yourself at that point. You're not really acting.
It's like something I wrote, and it's like anytime somebody says that, it's like even if they're performing a song, it's like, oh, I wrote this song. You're like, oh, Christ.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
So
Play Wonderwall again.
More for us in the back. So then you were in community college. You took an acting class. Where was the vault into like I got to go to LA to do this?
So shortly after I left the college, I'd been working my whole life. I've been working since I was like 13 years old. So I tried to find a few jobs here and there. I did fence contracting with my uncle. So he had a fence contracting company. We just go around putting up fences, even if they didn't belong there.
Just bill people.
Yeah.
Here's your bill. Here's your fence.
Fencing 5-year-olds.
Here's a guardrail. I didn't even need it.
You're paying for it now.
Right. And then from there, I went to, I got a job as a small engine repair mechanic. So,
wow.
Yeah, so I was working on like lawnmowers and weed whackers and stuff, like chainsaws and all
if
types
you
of fun
get
stuff.
famous, this is exactly the same kind of cliche story that is told in a good way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There I was working on cars, and
it's iconic that like Harrison Ford
I
worked
was just
as
about to say
a
Harrison Ford,
carpenter.
yeah.
It was like, well, it was weird because it was like it was in a weird transition when I kind of got to that job. It was like they were changing location, so I just got to meet a lot of people. We ended up like moving to a different garage, and It just, they sort of kind of dissipated the company from there, sold it off. So from there, I got a job as a meter reader for a public service company. For, I don't know if you remember PSE&G.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of bills from those knuckleheads.
Right.
Meter reader.
It was because of me, because I used to read your meter.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and I probably read it wrong.
Oh yeah, terribly.
Yeah, it's a 7. Yeah, sure.
Is there any amount of guilt in that job at all? Like, oh my God, I feel bad. I'm about to charge this dude a fortune. It's like, hey,
no, because you have no idea what they charge. It's
Right.
like you're just reading. It was basically you're reading a clock backwards.
Okay.
So it's like you'd read it from left to right.
Okay.
You know, and there'd be like 4 or 5 clocks on there. So
Okay.
you'd read the highest numbers, what they told you. So I have no idea what the hell they're charging. Like if
Okay,
that thing's spinning,
Yeah.
like, you know how that disc is in there? If that thing's spinning, you're like, oh, yeah.
This guy's been Christmas lights are on.
Money bags over here.
Yeah. Look at him using his lights.
Right? Let's keep it 65.
he's got his tanning bed, his internal bowling alley.
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah. So once that thing was spinning, like, you knew, but like I had no idea what they charged, but I hated that job, dude. It was on foot every day, 5 or 6 days a week, every kind of weather condition, and it's like Jersey, Kev, it's like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Summers are horrible.
Yeah.
They're brutally humid. Winters goes right there, kicks the shit out of you. Like
Yeah.
the winters. I never had a cold that stings you in the face as like it does, and it's like the best time of year there was like fall,
Right.
So that was nice, but it's a combination of like the weather and just like the areas I had to be in. So I had to be in like Newark and Patterson and just like all these not so nice areas where these meters were in these older buildings that were built in the 1800s,
Right.
down in these dingy ass basements. And I've walked into like pack of pit bulls before, like sleeping homeless people that freaked out because I'm reading the meter. I wasn't even supposed to be down there. Like,
Right.
If it was anything difficult, I would just have to like, oh, can't read it. There's something in the way, because it was a union job. We don't know about the unions in this country. But so
Jersey's
it's like,
still got a few unions.
yeah, if it was something like too difficult to read, you say you couldn't read it, so it wasn't a big deal. But I tried to like read as many as I could. But there was a certain point after that. It was like, I think I'd gotten a car accident on my way home, or back to the office, just because we had to drop off all of our equipment. And after that, I was like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then
You have to, and to cut you off, you have to, I think, truly hate a few jobs before it points you in a direction. Like, if you get a job and it's mediocre, I almost think it's the worst thing that ever happens to you. Because if you get a job and you make decent money and you don't fully hate it, you will just sit in that garbage for years.
Oh, yeah.
You know, until you
alive.
force yourself to
You've
hate
seen it happen. It's
Yeah.
like you get that, you've seen like, not particularly my family, but it's like friends' dads that like hate their freaking job.
Yeah.
It's like, why is he such an asshole? It's
Yeah.
like, well,
he's been
he's a
cleaning
baker. So he's
Well,
gotta get up at 3 in
actually
the morning.
I don't know if anybody gets into baking because they hate people or like hate
right,
baking.
right.
Like,
It's like-
nobody's like, I love getting up at 3 in the morning.
Yep.
I
Right.
love pastries.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do with my life?
Yeah. I mean, literally, like the job you're talking about. I mean, I worked at Target. I painted garage doors. I had all these horrible jobs. At a certain point, you're like, man, like, I want to be as far away from this as possible.
Yeah,
right?
but it makes you appreciate it too, because it's like it makes you realize this is later in life. I mean, somebody has to get up and do that every day.
That's so
it's like
facts.
you were there for like a year.
You're like,
and
"Ugh."
bitched incessantly.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like I've had terrible jobs my whole life. It's like, but there's also jobs that I love. Like I pumped gas, so it was like I love that job. I pumped gas for the cops in town. Like we had a town account. I knew all the cops in town, so I never got in trouble.
Hey.
That kind of like my whole high school career.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. We got away with a lot of shit.
That's
and it was fun.
yeah. You get tips?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
We
see,
used to
that's a
wash.
job.
My boss at the time, he used to make us wash windshields, which like a lot of people appreciated. Because he grew up like old school 50s.
Full service.
Yeah, full service. They would check your tire pressure and all that. It's like we never did that. We just stopped at washing the windshield. But like, yeah, people tip us all the time. Yeah.
Checking tire pressures?
That used to be the thing.
They used to wear
Really?
like
They would open the hood and they'd check your oil level.
Yeah, it was like a
Like a
You're
10-minute, 15-minute like
you were-
stop at the
you were
gas station.
Proud to be a service attendant.
Yeah.
Now it's like if you're
Spit on all
if
that.
you're an immigrant, that's probably the only job you can get on the East
Yeah,
Coast,
yeah.
because that's because you're out there in these horrible weather conditions.
Yeah,
And it's like,
all day long
all day
outside,
long.
and it's not like they're like most of them. If you don't know, in New Jersey aren't covered.
yeah, no.
The pumps
They're
are
not
just
covered gas.
open.
Yeah, open pumps.
Somebody needs to rethink this whole philosophy here.
Yeah, it's not like here you go and it's like this giant thing covered over her and everything. It's like, all right, it's fine, I guess. No, it's like just a pump, and sometimes they'll have a hut in the center that's big enough for one human body. Yeah, maybe.
And that's where you stand.
That's where they stand in between.
Around the credit cards, we used to have a cigarette box there. We used to keep all our cigarettes there. Yeah.
I had no idea, man. I legitimately, like I said, I'm trying to get in and out of the gas station as humanly fast as possible. If somebody's in the back, like rummaging through my shit and like making sure my license plate is on tight enough and stuff, I'm gonna be like, look, man, I really appreciate it if I gotta go. You know?
I gotta go, man. I'm like,
not like still under the hood.
Hey, Roy, you want to speed it up there? It's not a pit stop, buddy.
Yeah, it's dusting off your air filter.
He's topping off my soda. Yeah.
Whoa.
You want a pop, kid? I'm like, no, man, get out of my face.
Stop kissing my wife and get out of my car.
Why are you in the trunk?
Yeah, what's going on here? He just gets in the back and takes off.
Huh?
I love these apples. They're like, God damn it. All right. Okay, so cool. So then you got tired of that, and then
I got tired of basically living just a regular life. It was just, I was over it. I mean, just having these terrible jobs, and like I said, I've always been like a performer growing up.
Yeah.
I was like the fat kid growing up, so I had to like find other ways of like, making people laugh so they didn't make fun of me or beat me up or something like that. So it's like I had to learn how to do like impressions or something like that, or just say something funny to just sort of get the attention away from me. So I've always been like the performer of my family growing up, just because of that self-consciousness.
That's a really introspective thing to say.
Right.
I mean, you must have learned that way later in life.
Way later.
Yeah.
So I always knew I had like an affinity for it. I just never had the balls to do it.
Right.
Because, saying you want to do something like that was, like I said earlier, it wasn't really the stuff that, men did,
It's like basically telling people you want to be like an astronaut.
Right. Yeah. It's like, all right, buddy. Yeah.
So you say you're good at impressions, eh? This we did not discuss.
No, we didn't impressions.
What would you classify as your best, like your impression that you are most proud of?
My Peter Griffin's pretty good.
All right.
I'll give you a word. I like it. I hate putting people on the spot for impressions because
I know. Like that's why I said I was keeping it open. You choose. So if this sucks, it's on you.
It's on you, Phil. Yeah, that was good. All right.
But one of the first ones I ever did was like Fop Bastard from Austin Powers.
Oh yeah,
he was my favorite.
Gold member, or whatever.
Gold member, or something like that.
Or no, the big Scottish guy. Whatever.
Yeah. So like that was like I would pull that out. I was like, oh, look at this chubby little kid doing Fat Bastard. How hilarious and cute. And it's like but I used like their reactions to sort of like it left like a mental note. So I was like, oh, okay, this is working.
Yeah.
So I did all that stuff, and I was like, you know what, screw it. Home life wasn't the best situation. So I just one day sort of just sold everything I had. I had, bought my motorcycle. I had a truck that I had, a really nice truck, and I just sold it. And then packed up one day and drove out with my my best friend, who's my best man at my wedding, Chad. What's up, Chad?
Chad.
Well, I think your wife's blown up your spot here with Jon Snow.
Oh yeah, she went. Yeah, she's always thought that I'd look like Jon Snow from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. So that's.
And, she thinks I don't know if I can do it now. She thinks I sound like him sometimes.
Hey, I like that. Yeah, it does sound like him. I like it. All right.
I haven't done that in a while.
Do you still work on your impressions sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah. Like I'll do like Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
always a hit.
You gotta know.
You gotta know, baby.
Your father.
We'll have to play that game with him one time. What's the name of that one? Where you do the accents and they give you a sentence to read.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. I don't know what it's called. I know what you're talking about, but that would be fun. Yeah, I do it really poor Christopher Walken too. But yeah, Christopher Walken's fun. There's like a bunch of impressions that are kind of fun and easy. But to actually be good at impressions, I think people don't realize that it takes 100 hours of one guy, one voice.
Just like that weird kid just trying just different voices in your room. You're like, I can't do it.
Yeah, right. It reminds me of like Jim Carrey. They always said the Jim Carrey story was like that he spent like weeks and weeks trying to wiggle his ears until he could get it done.
Yeah.
And he said he said that his goal was he wanted to be able to move everything on his face because he thought it'd make him a better actor. And I'll never forget that because that makes you sound insane. But if you're an actor, I mean, it would be. I mean, I know in the One Ace Ventura movies he wiggles his ears, so it's like I guess he ended up using it.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey was raised me.
Me same.
Ace Ventura and
same.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Jim Carrey was a huge idol of mine for sure.
Freaking In Living Color.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
See, I never watched In Living Color.
Yeah,
my first introduction.
We're more of a similar age, so That was huge. He
In
was
Living
like
Color
Fire
was
Marshal
awesome.
Bill.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he was
Yeah.
like Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, I remember that, man. The fire and the vegan guy at the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many great.
Yeah,
characters
Ace
for him.
Ventura. I mean, the mask. All these. And for me, it was just like one hit after the next. And what he did is kind of what you're talking about. Was he gave me a door into I can. Because that's kind of who I am internally a little bit, right? I'm not saying I'm Jim Carrey, but I have that goofy side, like I'm sure you do, right? And when you see somebody do that, it kind of opened my door, like, I can act the way I want to act, because that kind of made me feel like,
it's acceptable.
It is acceptable, right? People find that funny. So okay,
Fun side note: Jim Carrey, first actor to ever have 3 #1 movies in the same year: Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask.
wow, that is fascinating.
What a year.
I'd have to guess 94.
Ooh, 94, 95 probably.
Yeah.
That's a lovely accent you have. New Jersey?
New Jersey. Yeah, there you go.
Well played, sir.
Yeah, there you go. You put
Almost
it
like
in.
we had that prepared.
That was weird. Okay, so then, like we do.
I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah, weird.
Somebody said, "Why does Kevin know that?" Hey, Joe, shout out Global Cooling. Yeah, that's right, buddy. I was in they were shouting out some of my dumbass YouTube videos
Well,
from
I
college.
know that because I saw it on the internet, and my brain remembers all these stupid things.
I tell people all the time that the weird anecdote about Ace Ventura is that he wasn't even supposed to be the star of that film. Is that like if you go back, I'm sure they erased it now, but if you go back and look at the movie posters, Tone Loc was on all the movie posters, and it was like Tone Loc featuring Jim Carrey, and like Jim Carrey was like kind of like
Dan
whatever.
Marino and Jim Carrey.
Yeah, exactly. And then like
Finkel and Einhorn.
and then he came in there and just dominated, and people were like, "Oh, I guess this." And then they literally re-released posters, and then he became the star. So
Right.
it's kind of funny that
Right.
Those Tone Loc posters probably worth a few dollars.
I guarantee I probably want one.
Name another Tone Loc movie.
0. I got nothing.
Surf Ninjas, bro.
What the hell are you talking?
Oh yeah.
he
Ooh,
is.
that's super 90s.
I've never even heard.
Rob Schneider, Tone Loc, Leslie Nielsen, Ernie Rice Jr.
Rob
And
Schneider's-
that's
You're better with names than I am.
Rob Schneider's been around that long.
bro.
I didn't realize that.
It's like he plays a high school kid.
He's
in Surf Ninjas.
Was Rob Schneider the making copies in SNL? Was that him?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Making
Okay.
copies.
Yeah. Okay. So I know he's been around a minute. All right. Cool. So then, all right. So then you moved out. You decided, all right, I'm done with this jazz. I'm moving to LA.
Right.
Where did you move originally? Right to LA?
No. So it worked out that a friend of mine had been moving out to California to pursue a traveling nurse job. So it somehow worked out that they were putting her up in Modesto, California.
Oh, wow. I know exactly where Modesto is.
Do you really?
I swear to God, my job before I started, well, it doesn't matter. The job I had a while ago, I used to have to travel to Manteca because we had a lab right there, and Manteca is maybe like 20 minutes from Modesto, so I was in Modesto constantly.
Small world. The only thing I know about it is that some guy killed his wife from there, and just like they
It's a
found his
dump, dude.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
pretty
just, I mean, it's like
Weird.
It's like in the middle
In
of
a
like
dump, dudes out there killing their wives.
yeah, well,
weird, strange.
it's literally the only agriculture out there surprises people is almonds. So if you go to Modesto, it's like it's just nothing but almond farms and
and apple orchards.
and apple orchards.
Yeah.
And the company I used to work for, we did food testing. So we would take your product, we tested to make sure it was biologically clean, and then it would go to people so they could eat it. But almonds are nasty; they're all over the ground and everything. So we would test everybody's almonds, and it's a massive business because people are making milk out of it, and not only that, even like if an almond's like broken and shitty, that is still worth something. People still
turn
want
into
that
almond flour
People-
probably or whatever.
So every ounce of it is worth a lot of money. So I used to spend a lot of time in Manteca and Modesto. What a
I
dump!
know a lot about almonds.
That's right. You know what? Let's talk about that for a little bit.
All right.
All right. Let's get into our almond section here.
Would you like me to tangent on a Modesto tangent?
I don't know, but I'm
Yeah, man,
nuts
listen.
about this next conversation.
Hey,
All right,
I see
we're
what
over
you
it.
did there.
All right, we're over it. All right. So then you had a friend in Modesto, and then what?
So initially, before I moved out to California, after I quit my jobs, I'd taken some time to train in New York City. So I did take some acting classes in there for about a year and a half, and I did all that. And then after I was finished with all that, I decided that California was probably my best bet because, like I said, I didn't want to really be in Jersey anymore. I was kind of over it. Just needed a change of pace, really.
Okay.
And a friend of mine had ended up moving out to Modesto, pursuing a traveling nurse job. So I moved out there too. Perfect timing. Spent about like 6 months up there, just kind of like just concentrating on myself. Really, I wasn't abusing any substances at the time. I was really concentrating on like just sort of detoxing.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot going on back home. Just needed a break from a lot of
For
things.
sure.
Stayed up there for about 6 months and then moved down to Woodland Hills. So
Yeah. No, Woodland Hills, too.
Yeah, lived there for like 3 months.
Fancy.
Bougie.
Yeah, fancy
it was,
man.
It was actually pretty cool because we didn't like. The situation was she was a great friend, Jackie, Nurse Jackie. What's going on?
Is that a show?
Great show.
Yeah.
She's also a nurse that I know from real life. We grew up together, so it's. But she didn't have to pay any rent because like all of her the the agency that she was with would supply all that. So the apartments were 2-bedroom, fully furnished. Like we didn't have to do anything. The only thing I paid for was like food.
Wow.
So all the utilities and stuff like that was all covered. So we didn't like it was a no-brainer for me. It's like I don't have to worry about anything out there. Sure.
Yeah.
Let me think. Okay.
$1 menu, and that's it.
I think I'll stay here forever.
For real.
Yeah.
And it was like, and then, you know, her contract ended up being up, and she's like, listen, I got to go back, but, you know, I don't know what you want to do. I'm like, obviously, I'm staying.
Yeah.
So from there, I just, you know, sort of found, you know, a house to rent with some, you know, people that I never met before. So it was like kind of my first time,
Yeah.
You know, trying to do something like that. But yeah, I ended up moving to Burbank, lived there for about 3 years, and then, yeah.
That's really cool.
Sort of bounced around the valley a little bit.
Did you drive across the country?
I did, yeah. Me and my boy Chad.
Nice.
We drove from Jersey. We did a big little smiley face across the country. So
Nice.
we cut down through the south, all the way through Texas, and up through New Mexico, Arizona.
Oh my goodness, you went all the way
Yeah,
down.
all the
Oh,
way
okay,
down.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
did the same drive. We went down through Tennessee, and then we ended up in like Kansas and Colorado.
Yeah.
We went back up the other way. So
It's a scary country.
it's
Yeah, driving through. I would not recommend driving through Mississippi at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
It is.
Yeah, definitely not something I recommend.
But you would recommend that you have to drive across the country once in your life.
Oh, at least once.
At
Yeah,
least
you
once.
have to see it. I mean, I had no idea how gigantic Texas was until we spent 22 hours driving across it.
100% true. Yeah,
And
And it is
you also
one of
don't.
the most
you're
terrifying
shocked by like the places people live.
And the
Yeah.
people, period. Like, you see people on TV, and I know people see these stereotypes and these crazy, you know, accents and stuff, and you just think they're fake, and then you end up in these towns, and you're like, they're all real,
We
man.
had to stop. We had to stop in like shithole nowhere, Texas, to get gas because it was like the only. We had gotten stopped by like a state trooper. He's like, "Hey man, you better stop at the next gas station because there's nothing for 200 miles
What?
in every direction." We're like, "Fantastic! So
Yeah.
we're gonna die."
Yeah, I appreciate it.
No, so we stopped at this gas
So
station.
we killed the cop, ate him.
Took his car because it was full tank of gas.
And that'll be the end of our show here, folks.
Well, gotta go. I got warrants. But
They come out and just take you out of here right now. All right.
stopped at this like random gas station. It was just like, and it was like literally 3 pumps. There was a trailer off to the corner with one of those. You guys probably remember those gigantic satellite dishes people used to have. in their
Oh,
yards,
yeah,
like
yeah.
those steel ones. you
Yeah.
know? There was one of those, and you just go inside. We had to like go inside to pay, and everything had dust on it, like the milk's expired. It was like something out of a Rob Zombie movie. We're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, like, what happened here?
And then like the beads in the door like swing open, and like this little 5'2" Mexican guy with the thickest Texas accent I've ever heard in my life came out. He was just like nicest guy. He was just like, "What can I get you on? You won't fill up." I'm like, how is that accent possible?
Yeah. What's wrong with your milk? No,
You
We don't really sell milk.
They're just fake.
Fire your employees.
Cheese
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, but yeah, you see somebody like that, like you said. I mean, again, like you're talking about the jobs, and you feel like, oh man, like I feel thankful that I don't work that job. But you also, it's a nice reminder because I mean, I worked in restaurants for a while, and I feel that way. But I talk all the time about how difficult of a life it is for a chef in a restaurant, you know. And so, but again, you look at somebody like that, and I'm not saying that guy's life is difficult, but it's very different, and you do gain an appreciation for what you have compared to what somebody else has. And I think that, and even like, I mean, we go through Kansas, right? This is a true story. We went through Kansas, and we asked like what there was to eat. People rattled off like 3 main chains, like they were saying Ruth's Chris. They were like, you know, there's actually like a Chipotle down there. And I was like I was about to just
like
be
it
blown
just
away,
opened.
you know? Like
That Long John Silver's got the best crab cakes.
But it is.
Where's the ocean from here? Nowhere near.
Yeah, we went to like a bar and they had like all this Hawaiian themed stuff, and it was like in the middle of like, you know, the middle of like one of these busted Montana states, and you're like, well, you guys haven't seen an ocean or a waterway, you know, in 30 years. But yeah, and again, you gain a lot of appreciation for those people and just how cool it is.
It's such a different life. It's like it makes you wonder if it's real or not. Like, you know, you stop in these little nowhere towns.
Truman Show
Is
shit.
it real?
Yeah, right. You guys, I
You
mean,
get up 8 o'clock in the morning. Come do this
every day.
6 days a week.
What do you do in your spare time? Right?
I
There's
know.
nothing to do around here.
My
right?
thing was always when you're driving there and you just see like you'd be driving and you'd see like 3 or 4 houses, and then you wouldn't see anything for like 30 miles.
Right, yeah.
And you're like, what is that person doing?
How does he get gas? How does
And-
he get milk? How does he bring something home frozen? Right? Like,
Yeah,
I got like a lot of questions.
How much bread is left?
Yeah, like where do you work?
Yeah.
I think at that point, if you live that far, 100%, you drive through the country, you will see a lot of houses so far from anything that you're like, this person has to be self-sustaining. They have to have something in their house or in their backyard that gives them food, or a cow that gives them milk, because there's just no way they're driving 4 hours to get a grocery
it takes
store.
you 40 minutes to get it.
No way.
Like or just driving 4 hours once a week and getting like food for the week.
But
No,
I feel like those are
maybe.
the areas where like you get a lot of people that like my dad went out for cigarettes and never came back. Well, it's like shit, Sherlock.
He's
You're
still
80
driving
miles.
to him.
You're still going to get him. Man. You just forgot how to get home.
It takes a while.
You're on some back ass road. Nobody wants you to fucking live here anyways.
Not to mention, when you live out in that area, I guarantee your perception of the world is different. I guarantee you
Right,
feel like if I
yeah.
cross that county line, the whole world's out there, right? Like it
Right.
probably feels like that. What's your favorite state that you drove through? Probably Texas.
Favorite state. For the wrong reasons, actually. The Arizona.
Really?
Yeah, because we get stopped by some like.
Arizona's got cool hills though, cool rocks.
They
cool,
do.
Yeah,
They
it's
do.
beautiful.
It's got gorgeous scenery. But
Yeah.
my favorite part is because we got stopped by these like volunteer highway patrol like vigilante type dudes. where
Immediately
they
sound
had-
like I hate them, but all right.
they got to the point where they'd split the highway with their own cones. They had bought their own cones and split the highway to so you can get off so they can inspect your vehicle. And at the time, I had a GMC SUV that was full of all my shit.
Jimmy?
Yeah, a little Jimmy.
Is that really what it was?
No, it was it was an Envoy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my. No, go ahead.
But so we didn't know what the hell was going on because like we didn't have. This wasn't a time of like Waze or Google Maps or anything. I still had a TomTom. Like
Why?
Yeah, I know.
No, I had to actually get a smartphone for my dad to let me go across the country because I was like, Dad, like with this flip ass phone, like I'm not getting anywhere,
I think I had
man.
a BlackBerry at the time. That's how weird it was.
Oh, that-
We
yeah.
were still listening to CDs. Remember those days?
We need like an old record sound.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, all right.
But they had stopped us like, and they wanted to like inspect the vehicle or whatever. And he's like, the guys like made us roll. He had these like like AR-15s, and they were like, these guys are real deal. And my buddy that I was driving across the country with, was driving at the time, and he's like, "You guys aren't harboring any illegal immigrants, are you?" And we're like, "What? No."
Not that I'm aware of.
He's like, "You guys are American citizens," and like I was just so tired at the point. I was just leaning over. I was like, "See?" And he's like, "What'd you say?" And they ended up letting us, but that was like my favorite because it was so bizarre.
Yeah.
It was out of nowhere, and
It feels fake.
Yeah, it felt so like like surreal.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like, this is not happening.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember in
I
Arizona.
wonder what I could do with all the cones I possess.
Yeah,
right?
I remember in Arizona, and now that you said that, one of my very small memories from Arizona was standing in like a line at a fast food place, and the guy that was standing in front of me had 2 pistols tucked in his back jeans. And I'm from a area where I've seen a gun before, but you just don't see it like at a McDonald's, right?
Right,
Like
yeah.
it's very, but it is a very different place. It is very bizarre.
Yeah.
Arizona's very, very different. All right, very cool, man. As far as you getting out here acting wise, did you immediately jump into it, or did you kind of try some commercials? Like, how did you get started?
So the whole mentality about coming out here was pursue acting as a career. That I could have stayed in New York and done the same thing. I just felt like I needed to be out here at some point in my career, which was Los Angeles. It shouldn't have been something I'd done immediately, maybe not, but
Yeah.
I did it anyway.
Right.
So I came out here and just started, just hit the ground running. Really, started submitting myself for these things. If you're an actor who's unrepresented, it means you don't have an agent or a manager. You have to do that stuff on your own. And luckily for us, there's subscription-based services like Actors Access or Backstage was a big one at the time.
LA casting. or
LA
something.
casting, yeah, casting for. There's a ton of them
Yeah.
that are subscription-based, and you'll get a lot of independent projects or non-union projects that'll post on those looking for actors, and that's basically how I started. I mean, it's I would submit myself and then try to get these auditions and go and do them and try to book them. But I wasn't doing anything special. I wasn't, I didn't really understand the city at the time. Didn't really know how to navigate it. Looking back now, I think I probably blew more auditions than
I mean, I think that's everybody, but I was gonna. I mean, one thing that I talked to you about off air is that this is something that was like I remember my acting teacher casually throwing this nugget of advice was that don't go out to LA and get lost in all the glitz and glam and the lights. You've got to put your head down and actually grind if you want to act. And it seems like a piece of advice that you could apply anywhere really. But with acting, it's like at least for most people, at least for me specifically, where I come from. Acting, everybody knew about the auditions that you needed to go to, and everybody talked about it. Out here, it is really like sifting for gold. You've got to get up in the morning, and you've got to every ounce of you making it depends on your work ethic, and that is, it's essentially like having your own business. And if you don't look at it that way, you won't perform that way.
Well, yeah, it is like you're advertising yourself and
Right.
your work, so it's your small business within yourself. So you have to stand behind your name and stand if you want to succeed. But it just takes a long time. A lot of it's just blind luck.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, a lot of it's just like, luckily for you,
Yeah.
they liked your picture.
Yeah.
I mean, 90% of the time they'll bring somebody in just based off their headshot.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Did you immediately start playing the bad guy?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much from the start, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I'd done like a few student films, and that was like all I was like, okay, so this is what I'm doing, And then it wasn't until so I got out here in just at the end of 2011, but it wasn't until like 2014, 2015 where I got to do like some funnier stuff, some comedy stuff. So, yeah, it was just all bad guys. Man.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I understand when someone says they're sick of playing something because it does get kind of mundane and kind of like you're playing the same person over and over
For
again.
sure.
And, part of the reason for me to be an actor was just to be somebody that wasn't me.
Right.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
It's like
So you're saying you're an asshole and that
Yeah, I think
you're tired of playing yourself on
pretty
film?
much, man. Yeah, I don't even know who I am anymore.
Play a nice guy.
Yeah. But it's what I mean is like doing like those dramatic scenes like we were talking about earlier, those aren't fun, and it makes I love being on set regardless, whatever it is. It's just like sometimes it's not as fun.
No. Yeah, that's very
a lot
true.
of hurry up and wait.
It is, and it's also like I think at least for me, one of the initial parts of acting that I thought was most difficult is really a life lesson, anything, which is taking criticism, because the criticism is harsh and real and poignant, and it's directed at you as a person and your ability, and it's hard to take at first. It's like it's like if you show up with somebody and you drew a really nice picture and you gave it to somebody and they said, this is actual trash. There's nothing about this. This is good. Go home and do it again, right? That is acting, bro. Do you know how many times I've done a scene and they're like, literally nothing about that worked. Go home and scratch it and do it all over. And it's like, man, I work hours on that, bro. Like, it can be you have got to develop this incredibly thick shield.
Absolutely. Because a lot of, especially with the auditions, is like if they decide to bring you in for one, they'll send you like what they call sides.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have to go over those sides and rehearse them. You're left to your own devices, on that. You have no idea what else is going on, the rest of the script, like what else is happening. So it's all a guess.
Yeah, for sure.
You're just guessing.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're lucky enough to get into that room with the casting director and the director happens to be in there, then, if they're nice enough, and especially if they're newer, they tend to be a little bit more lenient as far as giving you more of a chance and like doing it a couple of times. So once you get into that commercial world where it's like you got one shot, one and done, they run you through like cattle. It's like you have to know. Like my wife in particular is a phenomenal comedic and commercial actress, but she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She knows how to navigate this city as far when traffic is. She knows what to wear, what to say to the casting directors, just because she's been doing it for 10 years. And that takes a long time. When you first get here, you have no idea what you're doing.
One of the best things I was ever taught was, do not think that your audition starts when you start your monologue or your sides.
Yeah.
You start the second you open that door and you look at them in the face. That is when your audition starts.
And it's like, this is even after a while of being here. It's like when I went to an audition one time. It was for Disney, for like a Disney show. And just, I tried to, they wanted like a tougher little character, but it was for a Disney show, wasn't too violent, obviously. And I did the audition, they really liked it, and I went to go shake their hand, and they went, oh no, we don't do that. And I knew right there, I blew it. I completely ruined it. And it's just like, just by doing that, like you think, and you're just taught shaking hands is like a normal thing. You just think, okay, thank you for having me. It's like you want to show appreciation.
Yeah.
But to them, it's like they're dealing with people constantly. You don't know what people have. So it's like, it kind of comes back to like what we're going through now.
Yeah.
It's like, I think they were onto something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true.
Like, maybe I should have shaken so
Disney
many
knew
hands.
about
It's also blind luck, like you're talking about. I remember auditioned for Antigone, and I don't really like doing classical. I just for me personally, I think it's complicated for no reason, but that's just me personally. I'm not saying people that can do it, I think is really impressive. But I was auditioning, and I had a Hamlet monologue. She had to bring something classical, and so I came in, and I had this Hamlet monologue all worked out. It was very dramatic and very serious, and I was sitting in the waiting room waiting, and this kid came out I was friends with, and I said, how'd it go? And he said, it was good, but they made me do it like 4 different times. And I was like, why? And he's like, they wanted to see me do it like every different direction I could do it. He's like, even like they wanted to see me if I could do it like funny. He told me that, and I maybe had 45 seconds before it was my turn to go in. But that small nugget, I'm 100% sure changed the fact that I got that role.
Right.
Because I went in, I did the Hamlet piece very, very seriously. Like I had practiced it. But when he pitched and he pivoted and said, hey, I want you to, and that's what he said. He said, all right, now it was great, but I want to see if you can make that funny. And I said, okay. So he said, I want you to give me, take 30 seconds, do it again, but make it funny. And I was like, it's a Hamlet monologue talking about like killing somebody. So there really wasn't humor there.
Right.
But that 30 seconds of me being able to brainstorm gave me enough to genuinely make it funny, and then I got
Sure,
cast. So it's like, again, it was just blind luck that I happened to ask that dude what happened in there, and he was nice enough to even tell me.
Exactly.
Probably effed up his own stuff. So you know,
That went great, bro.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you.
That's right. I felt bad. I was like,
Congrats
man,
on your role, by the way.
that piece of advice nailed it for me, dude.
Yeah.
I crushed it
Yeah,
because of you.
yeah, I can't believe you're such an idiot. And you told me that.
There's just certain things you learn and pick up, and along the way, it's like everybody, I don't care who you are, expects, if you're an actor pursuing acting, everybody expects to come out to Los Angeles and not spend any time here, just already making it.
For sure.
And it's like, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's not true.
That's not true.
You're
But
gonna wait tables.
I'm a good actor.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like, no, I'm good enough. It's like nobody cares how good you are.
No.
Because that doesn't really matter.
No. And it's almost like it's actually really interesting because your work ethic is tested way before your skills are tested.
Yeah.
And if you come out with that mindset, you are going to fail. But one of the things that's really tough is your acting it's almost on you to continue to stay sharp because you're really not acting for a while.
Right,
You
you have to. Yeah, I think it's super important to stay sharp and to maintain it. It's because it is a skill. It's a tool. And a lot of people, I think, unfortunately, just get sucked into this Los Angeles as like a city in itself, because this city will eat you alive and spit you out because it does not care why you're here, where you're from, where your background. If you don't have some way to sustain you being here, then just go home, because if you can't be here, what's the point of trying to be?
Yeah, and it's like it's harsh and it's fair at the same time in the sense of like them being like, well, I was talking about the criticisms and stuff like that. When they're that harsh, they want to see that you can react, because it's not like it's not going to ever come up. It is going to be a lot of time like that. I remember somebody, if I can remember who the actor was, it was a comedic actor, and he was in a big role, and he was a Jason Bay film, and if I can remember who it was, it'll come to me at some point. So it was this comedic actor, and he said he was kind of new to like big films, and they said, all right, let's do this scene, and the comedic actor did the scene, and Jason Bay came over and said like, look, like this time, like do it like funny. And he was like he's like, in my head, I thought I was doing it funny, right? So like, but it's like that kind of advice is expected to produce something. They expect you to take that and turn that around.
Something better be different.
He said he was mortified. He said, I've been doing stand-up comedy. I've been doing stuff. I never had anybody look at me and directly and said, like, that wasn't funny. And he was like, I was worried I was going to, like, lose the role. And it's like, that is how thin that margin is with acting. It's like you could just be off your game, and now all of a sudden people think you're just terrible. You know?
You just be on an off day. Maybe some asshole cut you off on the way there. It's like, you never know.
No,
So
for
you
sure.
can't, use it if you can, but sometimes it gets under your skin. It throws you off.
That's 100% true. Okay, so the other thing that I really thought was interesting, and we kind of talked about off air, was the fact that you had trained MMA for a long time, 6 years.
Yeah. I trained about 6-7 years. I did most of that training in North Jersey.
On the streets.
The best part of Jersey.
In the Burger King parking lot.
By the
On the
dumpster.
street.
Yeah.
Meet me at John Street Park.
Yeah. Loser buys the nuggets, all right? Yeah.
But I mean, of course, it started out with like little backyard boxing and stuff like that. But like, and like group fights and fighting and stuff like that just was a part of growing up. It was like your friends would have beef with other school. It mostly stemmed from sports, like rivalries, so like football, wrestling, and all that stuff.
Our childhoods are very similar. My mom bought us boxing gloves. She was tired of us duking it out, so she just bought us gloves. It was just like, just go in the backyard and punch each other. She was just tired of it,
And that just
figure it out.
Figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It toughened you up a little bit. It's like, it is what it is.
A lot of it.
Not too much. Not too much brain damage. But it sort of stemmed from that, and like I said, just growing up in that environment where like sort of that you need to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You need to be able to defend yourself, because it's a very chaotic environment where we're from. It's like everybody's got an attitude, everybody's pissed off. So it's like that's gonna happen sometimes. Like sometimes those two attitudes are gonna meet in the deli over a coffee. It's like, and somebody forgets his cigarettes, and somebody's like, "Hey man, you drop your." Then next thing you know, you got a brawl in your deli parking lot at 6 a.m. And
It sounds a little specific.
Yeah, I was the only thing I was thinking of my high school was really big. The biggest thing that started fighting my high school was stepping on somebody's sneakers. Everybody's sneakers were pristine, right? And you had Forces or Timberlands on, they were just clean
That
to
is
death.
not a New Jersey thing.
And if you stepped
not
on,
for you?
man, if you stepped on somebody's shoes, man, it was an instant problem.
At least the school I went to, that was not the thing.
I don't know if my boy Rob is in the chat. He watches sometimes. I tease him sometimes because my childhood and yours are very similar in senses, but for me, we got one pair of shoes a year. My mom would get us a pair of shoes, but she used to always include in the shoes at Finish Line or Foot Locker, they used to sell shoe cleaner, and she would always buy it. A lot of times you could get a pair of shoes, they give it to you for free. So she would always bring that home, and I used to just clean my shoes religiously. We would paint them and color them, and we were all into it, right? but also you wanted to keep them pristine. So, like, again, a lot of my friends were like that. Like, they were kind of a little bit broken. They'd only get one pair of shoes. My buddy Rob, one time, we pulled up, and he had just got new Timberland boots, and we had pulled up to the bus stop, and he lived at, like, the top of a hill, and he was running late to the bus, and the bus driver pulled up, and we could see him. He was walking down the hill backwards, making sure he didn't crease the boots. Because he didn't want to get, it was his first day with the boots, so he didn't want to,
Gotta look as fresh as possible.
Take them off and run.
Right, but it makes me laugh because it is something that I at least relate to Smalley.
Apparently, you had an eraser and a brush in your pocket the whole time.
That is actually embarrassingly true.
Really? That shocks me. I did not live in this world.
That is 100% true. Only for one pair of shoes, and that was the Timberland boots, because where I was from, Timberland boots were like it, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So Timberland boots were it. Like, if you were a tough guy, you had Timbs on. Like, that's just how it was. And so Timbs were a statement, but Timbs were incredibly difficult to keep clean. They were like suede, so it was like this massive nightmare. So Timbs used to come with this brush and this white eraser, and the eraser was the only thing that really got smudges out of your Timbs. So I legit used to carry it.
It was like the pre-Mr. Cleaner.
It's weird because
I can't believe you just called me out on that. I literally, before you said that, didn't even remember.
Your mom?
No, God damn it. No, I legitimately don't even remember that until he just said it, but that's 100% true. They just had a white eraser in that brush, and I carried it because I didn't want to ruin my shit.
It's weird because, like, my school, like, the shoes was not the thing. It was more like we had a lot of hippies at my school. So it was almost like the opposite. Like, if your Birks were, like, super broken and dingy and had, like, and you had, like, handmade.
You mean Birkenstock?
Yes.
Oh, Christ.
And, like, if you had, like, handmade or like quilted clothing, like that was more of a sign than it was like, and it was all
Are you
these
sure you're
rich,
from New Jersey, not Mexico?
I know. It was all these rich kids loving like Dave Matthews Band and Fish and stuff like that. Like it was the weirdest flex. They'd like drive a Mercedes and then get out in like handmade clothes that they'd spent hundreds of dollars on to look like they made them at home.
They didn't spend any money at all. Yeah.
They play lacrosse too.
We didn't actually have lacrosse in my high school until after I left.
So funny
they have
too.
it now, but I didn't.
I grew up in Maryland, and we have a wonderful like reputation as lacrosse, and none of my high schools had to play lacrosse. I'm just super confused on where all these like lacrosse players came from. So.
My uncle actually got a lacrosse scholarship to college in like the 70s.
Wow. Yeah, that was crazy.
Back when college was $5,000 a year.
Yeah.
So what shoes were you wearing?
We wore everything, man. We were big into like the BMX and skate scene at the time.
Okay.
So we were like, we would wear like our DCs and shit like that. But we definitely had the Butters as they call
the
them.
Butters, dude. Yeah, everybody had the Butters, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta have the Butters because
and the Air Force Ones.
Yeah,
back. Like I grew up in kind of like that. Do you remember the Rough Riders, like DMX,
oh my God,
when that first came out? When that first hit, like it for some reason it took over our town. And like so, Air Force Ones were like a thing, and like chains and you know the black Air Force Ones, not even the white ones.
Oh yeah, white. Now this is still almost a tradition. If you're in a really tough area, black forces are the tough guy that you don't mess with. It's
he's been in jail for 12 years.
100%.
He has no idea. He's got and one shorts on and a do-rag.
And his forces aren't even clean. The black forces are this. If you see a guy in black forces and they're not clean, you turn your ass around and you walk the other direction.
Yeah, you're gonna get mugged.
That's 100% true. So yeah, the black forces, white forces were dorky, so you can have white forces. But I used to rock the mids, but a lot of people didn't like mids. I used to like have the mid Air Forces. So that was my game. But I did once a year. I get the forces or a pair of Timbs, and I had through high school. Those were like my shoes, you know. And
Jordans were always a thing.
Jordans, but they were expensive too, you know. So it was tough to get Jordans. The dorky or the preppy kids wore the TNAs with the boost underneath, the little cushy things underneath. That's what I used to see the kids wear. But yeah, Timbs, Forces, Jordans, man. That's all. That's all I ever owned.
That's pretty much like same here. Yeah,
same scene. Yeah, man. But again, if you had a nice pair of shoes, at least from my high school was. A lot African American. You used to get like serious clout, dude. Like you showed up, like I my first pair of Forces were white. The check mark was not black, stitched black, right? Ooh. So yeah, so it was super cool. And then the bottoms were all black. I came in the first day, like 11 black. Like, just a fresh, like nice shit. I'm like, all right, I made it, dude. Like I did it. I'm in, dude. I'm definitely not getting beat up from here on out. So that's hilarious.
But we wanted to talk about your little MMA and test your knowledge.
Sure, yeah.
So since you have so much experience in the MMA world.
Fantastic. Most of it got knocked out of me, but sure.
Yeah. So we're going to test you on Real or Fake, a game we like to play here.
Okay.
Of MMA nicknames.
Okay.
So these are we've been watching a lot of MMA lately, and we've seen a lot of guys have ridiculous.
The best, dude. It has turned into like an actual tradition, dude. These
Yeah.
names are getting so out of control, and every time we just look forward to like I don't even know if you had it. That backcountry guy, is that on there? Oh, damn it, dude. That guy was it's such a great name. Sorry, I just ruined it. It's one of my favorites I ever heard.
All right, so we'll go with this is going to be basically the what's that practice question?
Yeah, yeah.
Showing you how it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a real one, but it is a black country banger.
Black country banger, dude. Instead of backcountry banger, he's black country banger.
That's
And
real.
That's a real one.
100%
Yeah,
real
that's a
name.
real guy.
We watched him fight.
Yeah, we watched him fight recently.
When he
But
introduced himself, I was
he
like,
was kind
what?
of the genesis of this whole idea.
For sure.
Okay.
Because like normally like the nicknames used to be like the assassin or something like pretty standard, right?
So what do I have to do?
So
He made up a bunch of them.
so some of them are real, some of them are fake.
Okay.
So you have to decide whether you think, and chat, you're welcome to play the game.
Yeah, welcome to throw in here, chat.
You have to decide whether you think these are real or are they fake.
Did Lamb make them up?
Yeah.
You're going to struggle because the real ones are crazy and so are Lamb. So
Yeah.
I actually haven't heard your fake ones either, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so feel free to play, Nick.
All right, I'm in.
All right. Death Badger.
I'm gonna go fake.
I wish just part of me, I know that you couldn't do it, but I wish like they had the real names with them because I wish it was like Matt Death Badger Johnson.
I thought about doing that too, but it was like...
it would just be way too difficult for you. That's way too much. So Death Badger, I'm going to say that's got to be real.
That is fake.
Damn it. All right. I got the fart and you got the horn. Excuse me. You got the horn. All right, you're up 1. I'm down.
Uncle Creepy.
I want that to be real. Please be real.
I'm on real too. Sorry.
It is real.
Oh, Uncle
Uncle
Creepy. That's a real name. Okay,
Is
first
he a
off,
lucha libre?
Now, some of these, I will say, some of these are from like not just UFC. They did go the areas I was researching did go a little further out into like Valley Tuda and stuff like that. So, but Uncle Creepy is one of them.
somebody just said Reebok Classics. I did not have any Reebok Classics. No? No?
I had pumps.
Reebok
Though.
Classics.
I never had any Reebok Classics.
I had a pair of pumps.
Maybe in like
I had a pair of high.
91, dude.
I had a pair of high top pumps though.
Cavariccis. What's going on?
High top pumps in
High
5th
top pumps.
grade.
I remember those.
I
Yeah.
had pumps. I definitely had a pair of
rock
pumps.
them.
I had a pair of
All
Allen
right.
Iverson shoes too. All right, go ahead.
The Hercules Hammer.
That's real.
You
That's
know,
got to be real.
That I would really hope that's real, but it does have a lot of alliteration, and it sounds like something Lamb would do. So I'm gonna go fake.
It is fake.
Let's go! You get a fart noise?
I am a fan of alliteration. But
Well,
Now that I know.
well, I was looking at it. I was like,
Yeah.
there's only 1 or 2 that have alliteration.
Cool.
So, all right. Fancy Pants.
wow. Okay, so I'm not gonna be intimidated by somebody in Fancy Pants, but I am a little concerned of the confidence level. That's what I'm just gonna say. If that's
Yeah,
real,
I'm gonna go real.
I'm gonna say real as well.
Real.
Let's go!
Knew it.
Fancy Pants.
Yeah.
I'm trying to punch you in the grill. I just can't be
And they're
introduced.
trying to kick your head off.
I'm just trying. I just cannot be introduced as Fancy Pants.
Yeah. All right. The Naked Man.
Real.
Wow, that was fast. I'm gonna say fake.
That is real.
Damn it, dude! You were on a freaking red hot streak.
Grass Cutter.
I'm gonna go fake.
Okay, can we just all take a guess at what this dude's name would be? Like, what would entitle you to the name Grass Cutter?
So it'd probably be like George Grass Cutter, like Chronopolis or
So
something
I
like
think
that.
it's got to be somebody from the South, dude. That's what I'm thinking. If that's real. Oh, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants. Yeah. Hey, look at this guy, Mr. Fancy Pants. Always an MMA fighter. Good for him. Okay, I'm gonna say real.
That is fake.
Damn it, dude! I'm red hot. I'm gonna get a fart. All right, I'm hitting all the wrong sound effects. I just love the sound effects. Sorry.
Oh my God, some of these are so ridiculous. The Tax Man.
That is an awesome name.
That-
If you made that up, I'm punching you right
Yeah,
in the
that
face.
instills fear, and that's real.
That's 100% real.
That is fake.
Yeah, you're out. Get out. Get out.
You stumped us both.
Yeah. That's really good. The Tax Man? I don't know why I
Tax
like
Man
it.
always
Is that your
comes.
nightmare?
I like
Yeah,
that.
he's always showing up, man.
Yeah.
You
Wesley
can't escape
Snipes
the Tax
nightmare.
Man.
Came to tax that ass.
And DMX and everybody else.
Yeah.
It's Donald
to
Trump,
collect.
everybody. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Time to collect, man.
Yeah.
You got to fucking...
Time to collect would be your slogan.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That would be so sick.
All right. Sexy Yama.
Look, real quick, though, if I have the Tax Man, do I get to show up in one of those, like green brims that, like,
I think you
got
got it. I was thinking you got a briefcase. And you take out your gloves from the briefcase and put them on.
It's just like a can of whoop ass rolls out of it.
Throw calculators at people.
Yeah.
Like
Getting into WWE
Looks
territory,
like,
but I like
yep,
it.
your time's up. All right.
Answer is
Yeah.
boobs.
Boobs. Yeah, boobs. That's 100%.
You are boobless.
Yeah, gotcha.
Sexy Yama.
Sexy Yama?
I just don't think you can make it up, so I'm going to say fake. I'm going to say real, excuse
Yeah,
me.
real.
It is real.
What?
Yeah.
Sexy Yama?
Guys
Like, is that like Yamaka?
yeah, no, his last name's like was Yama, and then and they made him Sexy Yama.
Okay.
I don't wanna be sexy in
He
the
got
ring
caught
either.
like one of the like ring girls got caught like checking him out or something like
yeah.
that in a photo, so they started calling him Sexy Yama.
That's actually pretty funny.
Wild Stallion.
That just sounds like a male stripper's name, so that's real.
I'm going to say that's fake.
That is fake.
Let's go.
That's a little
Definitely male
homage.
strippers, I know.
That was a little homage to the Bill and Ted movie that just came out and is awesome. Check it out.
Ooh, I will.
All right.
Actually, Lamb really liked it. I'm not the Bill and Ted
Yeah.
guy, so I didn't get anything out of it.
If you're a
but
Bill and Ted fan, you
Yeah.
will like it. If you're not, you're probably not going to be super into
I
it.
might get thrown off the show, but I don't think I've seen the original Bill and Ted.
You can't get thrown off the show, sure.
You're not of the age.
I can throw myself off the show.
All right. Flying cockroach.
Fake.
I don't know. Who's that? Outs in there. What's up?
Hey.
I'm gonna say flying cockroach. God, I hope that's. I'm gonna say fake as well.
That is real.
Damn it!
Wow, Kev, you're good at these.
Yeah, dude, you're really good at finding the real ones.
All right.
A flying cockroach again, not very intimidating,
No.
but it is kind of creepy.
Maybe he was like, Hispanic, so he's like.
If I'm the flying cockroach, I'm not showering or bathing before the fight. I'm just gonna bother you with
Yeah.
my stench,
Yeah.
dude. Look, he wasn't that good of a fighter, but he was brutal to be next to.
Sexy Shrek.
Whoa.
That's got to be real.
Gotta be real, but
Yeah.
it is alliteration, so I'm thinking fake. But I'm gonna stick with
I'm gonna go with real.
I'm gonna stick with real.
Fake.
Damn it, the alliteration! We had it. We should have talked this through. All right, I'll give you a small horn there, right down here. There you go.
All right, here we go. The Ninja of Love.
Gotta be real. There's just no way, dude.
That sounds like a VH1 show.
That's the new VH1 show coming out about MMA fighters, dude. MMA fighters struggling to find love.
I want to say real.
I'm gonna say real.
It is real.
Wow, man, somebody needs to help these people.
Yeah.
I want the names to be like the Fist of Death or like.
Well, there are a ton of those.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that in general, I don't want my name to be like the keyboard user or like
The sound guy.
Oh, there's some more coming. I've been saving some of the better ones.
Right.
All right. Monster Lobster.
Monster
Real.
Lobster.
It also sounds like a food truck, but real.
Might be a food truck, so I'm going to say real as well.
It is real. He's from Maine, and he was originally the Monster, and
Huh.
then they started calling him the Monster Lobster.
I'm okay with the Monster Lobster. It sounds like he'll grab you
Yeah.
up. He sounds like he'll do something terrible to you. I'm with that.
Hocus Pocus.
Real.
It's so simple. It's like if he faked it, I'm just going to be so upset. I got to go real.
It is fake.
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
I'm not as good at this game.
Just,
Or I'm really good at making
Well,
up
you're
names.
really good.
If you're an MMA fighter and apparently you're looking for a nickname, I might be the guy to see because I'm pretty good at making them up.
just when I thought you couldn't get any stupider.
The Pedro.
The Pedro, that's real.
That's so cool. I like the Pedro.
I hope it's like the Pedro from the Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, that would be my guess.
I'm going to say real.
That is real.
Real, the Pedro.
Nice.
The Page Turner.
All right. Box cutter.
Real.
Fake.
Fake.
Let's go.
All right.
Very small horn there. Sorry.
The Outback Kid.
That's real.
Oh, yeah. Paul said, if we get any good names, we got to copyright these names. What is it? The Outback what?
Outback Kid.
I feel like I know this person, but it's also very generic, which makes me think you could have thought it up. So I'm going to say it's real. It sounds real.
That's fake.
Damn it, son of a... Yeah,
Let's take a quick break. Is that cool?
yeah,
Yeah.
do your thing. I mean, do your thing, dude. You gotta go, dude. But we gotta copyright that.
Yeah. Copyright.
Copyright
There we
button.
go.
All right.
Oh, I got a couple.
All right, give me a
You want-
couple.
I'm going to give them to you now.
Yeah, give me
I'm gonna give
your
them to you.
best one right now that you think could be your name if you were an MMA fighter, real or fake.
All right, this is a real one.
A real one.
This is probably what I'd have to resort to in an actual MMA fight. Tickle fight.
Tickle fight. That's a real name?
Yeah.
Okay, see a name like that, I'm all out on, dude. I literally, I might not even be able to take a fight with that guy. I'd be like, hey, look, we want you to fight Kevin Tickle Fight Lamb. I'm like, nah, that doesn't sound like it. I'm not gonna be doing any of
Not
that.
interested.
I'm not gonna be doing any of that. Okay, like let's say for real, I'm gonna fight with somebody and they start to tickle me. Is that a rule?
I don't think there's an actual rule about it.
You don't think you're going to get in trouble for tickling?
I mean, you're going to get, I don't know if you're getting officially in trouble,
but
you're
not
getting Jones from every fighter ever in the history of ever.
If you start tickling,
Dana White is not allowing it.
If you start tickling somebody in the middle of a fight, do you think they never give you another fight?
If it's UFC, I don't think Dana White ever gives you another fight.
We really might have to search this right now, dude. I actually have to know if tickling is illegal. You're right. It can't be illegal, right?
Yeah, like you're allowed to literally punch people in the face. I would
You're
assume.
not allowed to kick them in the junk. You're not allowed to
poke them in the eye.
You're not allowed to poke them in the eye. Yeah.
And no, can't punch them in the back of the head.
Can't punch them in the back of the head. You can't elbow them in the back of the head. There are some
few things. We'll take a look.
There are some rules to this world here. No tickle fights. Are you allowed to tickle in UFC? Oh, wow, it's already filled it in for you, dude. It knew it was exactly what was going on. Oh. Okay, I'm not.
All right, so we're
tickling is legal except on the groin or whenever your opponent is grounded.
What is
so
this
if they're
for? What I miss?
So you only missed one name. So this is a real one because we already shared it. But somebody's nickname was Tickle Fight.
Tickle.
So
we were like, is it legal to tickle in MMA? And apparently it's legal except on the groin or when your opponent is grounded. So if you're both on the ground.
Ozone X.
So if you're standing up, I can tickle you. That's what they're saying, dude. You're on the ground.
Like if you're trying to choke you. Yeah.
Yeah, you forget about it.
I don't know. I don't know if that's legal.
Tickle the gooch, get out of it.
Yeah, that's apparently legal in this sport. All right, give us one or two more here. We got to
yeah, I only got one or two more.
Okay.
The Pink Pounder.
Oh my!
It can go so many ways.
I know. Yeah. That's why it's on the list.
Fake.
I'm gonna say it's real.
That is real.
Gosh damn it, dude! I don't even know if they can give that guy a fight. Like you can't put him on like a main card. And the big fight of the night, Josh the Hammer Fist Johnson against Big Mike the Pink Pounder. You're like, what? Just
Pink Pounder.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know.
I just. Oh my god.
That's really great.
All right. We got two more.
Suppose that's their porn star name.
Rear naked robot.
Yeah, that's real.
I'm fake.
That is fake.
That's fake. I just know that one better than you do.
All right. Baba Yaga. Or Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga?
Baba Yaga.
That's real.
AKA John Wick. That's what they call him in John Wick.
Really?
That's real.
That's got to be real, right?
That is real. That is a real Macedonian fighter.
That is.
Whoa!
Hence why I saved it for the end.
Baba Yaga is like a mythical type of like you know how like
a demon or something?
Yeah, you know how Ireland has like the banshee.
And
it's
Mexico
like
has like the chupacabra.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like a screaming like old dead witch ghost.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a Macedonian fighter's nickname.
Family,
and I thought,
family originally from Macedonia, so that's why we had to shout that out. Very, very cool.
See how I transition with
very,
that?
Very well done. All right.
Semi-professional level.
Nice.
All right.
And now we ruin it with all this jibber jabber, but you know.
Let's just end the show right now. All these beautiful
That's
transitions.
a highlight. All right.
That's it. All right. Before we have gone long here as we do, but that's all right. The Boogeyman. Oh, the Boogeyman's a real name, actually. That's a good call.
That's basically Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, there you go. Thanks for shutting that out. All right. We have some other stories we want to cover with you guys. It's been fun today so far already, but there is at least one story, we've got to get to.
Nick's been jonesing.
I just been jonesing. I don't even watch this show. If you want to cut to it here. I don't even watch this show, Dancing with the Stars. But they have apparently announced that Nelly, some other people that you don't know, and Carol Baskin is going to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Fun.
Should be
because I think
this show should just kill.
Star Carol Baskin. I think family friendly Carol Baskin
for sure.
I think ABC
Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin.
Well, and this is something we said off air. Okay, I don't want to get rude, but first off, that picture doesn't make her look like she's in the condition to start Dancing with the Stars. Just putting that out there.
Cardio heavy.
I'm not trying to be rude, but like if you're trying to, that's a really dancing is exhausting. They want to like throw you and pull you through your legs and stuff. Like she's got to, she's gonna have to like tighten up a little bit. But more than that, I only Jones on her because I'm 100% sure she's a killer.
She's a murderer.
She's a murderer, as far as most people would know. I would say, okay, if you polled everybody that's ever seen that show, what percentage of people think she's a murderer?
97.
I would agree. I would say maybe
There's 3%.
I would say like low to mid 90s.
Just people who just want to be contrarian or just want to be
Or,
difficult.
but there's some other people out there just maybe just kind of like
read it differently.
believe whatever.
We've talked about this off air. The fact that she like legitimately was very cold in her responses. She didn't seem that upset that her husband was even dead. I just nothing about it seems like that. But again, I understand they're doing it to get people to watch the show. Like what you guys said, it's like putting O.J. Simpson on the show. It is essentially glorifying somebody that most people think.
I'm trying to think of other people they would put on that would be like that. Like,
I can't think of anyone else.
what's his name? The music guy.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, crazy hairs. Phil Spector.
Phil Spector.
Yeah, like putting Phil Spector on there, like literally convicted of murder. Like, you know,
it's just like it's like I guess I understand they want ratings, and this is going to bring them, but she's gonna get knocked out in the first week, and she's gone, dude.
I think she'll be at least 3. I think she's gonna make it 3 episodes before
people are gonna vote for her just to keep her on the show.
If she doesn't come out for her first dance to Eye of the Tiger, she's a punk ass.
That was a good one.
She's a punk ass.
You were saving that one, dude.
You're right, I was. She's got to come out to that, dude. Otherwise, people are just gonna throw. She's a murderer. Thank you. We know what's going on here. She's a criminal.
Our eyes are open.
Yeah. I just thought it was strange. I really did catch me off guard. Like I'm cool with like kind of provocative people. Maybe they're like somebody that says crazy things.
Yeah,
but
get Greta Thunberg or something like that. Like, you know, you want to.
Who's next? Casey Anthony?
Oh!
I mean, that is. Oh, that's actually a rim shot. Okay, so that is really funny. But that's what I'm saying. It just seemed like so off color. It seemed like such a very random thing to do.
Yeah.
I am not gonna watch the show, but I am 100% gonna watch when she
Watch
fails.
the highlights.
Well, when she fails.
Keep in mind, there's this new app called Cameo where you pay celebrities money. Weird.
Yeah, weird.
To send so they can send you a personalized message.
Yeah, got my dad one for Christmas.
She's one of them.
What?
Yeah, she charges like $350 an hour.
Maybe we should get her to do an ad for this podcast.
I got the soup Nazi to send my dad.
Hey, Carol, by the way.
Yeah, what's up? Oh my God, we should. Man,
it's too much money.
It's too much
waste
money.
on a murderer.
Yeah,
I don't want to give her money.
You're right.
Put it on the company card, guys. You guys got one of those? I'm gonna business
give
this.
me your card. It's Lamb's card we use.
Yeah, I know. It's racking up debt, and not quite getting the
Put it on the Capital
prime,
One, guys.
not quite getting the prime.
The prime
Hey,
interest rates.
whoa.
Sorry about that. This is what is this? The crew chief here?
You guys are scheduled about 10 minutes.
Sorry about that. All right.
Where about my mic?
All right. Sorry about that. Sorry, but that's our crew chief, Tony. He makes sure everything's working. Likes to periodically pop in, just touch things.
Yeah, we're not quite sure what he does around here, but we did get him a hat and it made him happy. So
we are 10 minutes overdue, apparently.
According to Tony, at least.
That's right. All right. So, do you want to do side A, side B? Or do you want to do the motorcycles?
Yeah, we'll do side A, side B. We'll go.
Let's do
quick.
it. All right, cool. Let's do it. All right, so we do a little segment here.
As soon as Knight finds a button.
We actually haven't done it in a minute, but yeah, we do a little bit of that. A little bit of side A.
A little bit of side B.
That's right. A little bit of side A, a little bit of side B. What we're going to do is we're going to give Lamb and Jason here a couple topics. The way this works is they each get 10 seconds to introduce why their argument is better. Then they will hash it out. I will decide who's better. Now, here's the trick to this whole thing. I'm going to tell you what we're arguing about, and then randomly decide which one of these people has to fight for that side of the argument. So it's not like they get to pick what they want to argue. So for number one, what do you want to start with?
We got Harleys versus street bikes.
Okay, so your boy rides motorcycles, so we're going to go Harley versus street bikes. Here, I'm going to take these 2 pieces of paper. I'm going to put on one of them Harley, and you guys are going to pick it out.
Can you write mine in Braille, Nick, because I can't read your handwriting?
Yeah, I know. Just tell us. Just tell us what we got.
No, I want it to be random. Otherwise, I'm going to give him street bike, dude. It's just how it's going to
I don't care if you, ruin it. I guess I'll take the one closer to me. I don't know.
There's only one that has a rating on it, so we're about to find out if you have that one.
I got Spotify.
No, you did not.
Spotify.
Yeah,
Not even a choice.
You got Harley, so you got Harley. All right.
All right, so I got street bikes.
So you got to defend Harley. You got to defend street bikes.
All right.
You get 10 seconds. Lamb, why don't you jump off the jump here?
All right. Way faster, way cooler, simple.
Bam. Lamb off the jump with a great introduction. Harley bike, why is it better 10 seconds?
You hear me coming. It's made in America, and people that look like Robin Williams don't ride them.
Wow. Shots fired immediately. All right, so let's look at
You want to be young. You want to be hip. You want to wear a cool outfit. You ride a street bike.
Right.
All right, so
You want to look like an old man with a beer belly. You ride a Harley.
wow, counter to that?
Yeah, I'll as you're passing me, I'll swing my ball peen hammer and knock you off your crotch rocket there.
Okay, very good argument. Yikes, this is really dicey. I'm actually gonna give that argument to Lamb. Sorry about that. I know, but Lamb did have the old person gut argument, and Harley, old people with guts have given Harley a bad look for that. That's for one reason only.
What do you mean? That's American.
It is very American, that look.
It's diabetes is what it is. So,
all right, next
2.
one is late night dining options. Diners versus taco trucks.
See, this one I can just pick. I'm gonna go diners, taco trucks.
All right.
Okay.
So let's have you start this time. Taco trucks, why are they better than... okay, so late night dining. We're not talking about just straight up. We're talking about your drunken night. Your
post-bar.
Post-bar.
Post night out.
Post-night out.
Okay. On your way home.
On your way home.
Oh, you got to go a taco truck. I mean, even though you're like, already hammered, at least you know it's fresh. You know who's cooking it. You're talking to the guy. You're going to have it right there. Because you see people going to like diners and they're passing out on their drink. They're causing
That's 10 seconds. I got to cut you off. Lamb, you got to go.
We got everything. Simple. Whatever you want, we got it. It's done. We'll cook it for you, and you get to sit down while you eat it.
All right, you need a counter to that?
No.
No.
I want a diner, actually.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to go diner. Lamb's 2 for 2 here. All right, last one. What do you got?
All right, last one is, for the New Jersey folks, it is Bon Jovi versus Springsteen.
Oh, man.
Folks, this is why
There is no right answer to this one,
Nope.
just so you know, folks.
It's just all wrong. I completely removed myself from this argument for that purpose. All right, so who's got... I'm going to give Bruce Springsteen, and you got...
Bon Jovi?
Bon Jovi.
All right, bro. Living on a prayer. Simple.
Wow.
I'm just going to rattle off something. Okay.
Yeah. I'm halfway there, bro. I'm not even finished.
Okay. So like I said earlier, like my birth certificate, it's born in the USA. And if you're not patriotic by now, you better leave.
John Bon out there working in the soup kitchen, helping the homeless.
Wow.
What's Bruce doing?
Bruce is the boss.
All right, I'll give you that.
All right, argument goes to Jason on that one. Jason, just simply because the boss, he's got to win. That's an easy fact.
Bruce is the boss. Plus,
He puts on like a 17-hour concert every time. It's
he's
great.
the only guy that I know that dungarees look good on him.
Yeah, like Lee Dungarees.
The acid one.
Yeah,
Who is probably worth more money? I really don't know. Jovi?
Jovi probably.
Yeah.
Springsteen doesn't seem to like
He
hunt
fizzled,
money.
right?
Well,
Yeah,
he just doesn't seem to hunt money.
Yeah.
He's not like
Like
he
Bon
sounds-
Jovi's just-
seems- I've never met him, but I'd like to think he's a nice guy.
Every time we hang out, he seems like real chill and down to earth.
Weird. We should have him on the show since you haven't had him on yet.
Nah, that's weird. He's busy, man.
Brucey, baby, what are you doing this weekend, kid?
Come on,
we
get
need
in
you
it.
for the podcast.
Come on, we had this
People
great,
might watch.
We got this great fart sound effect. You're gonna love it. All right, let's move on. I want to do this motorcycles because I thought that was really funny. Okay,
Cool.
so he's into motorcycles. I went and picked out some really clean looking
Let's
bikes.
see how many we got.
We're going to do a little bit of dig it or ditch it. He's going to decide whether he wants to ride it or whether we're in on this bike or not here. We're going to make it quick for you guys.
It'll pop up on here.
Yeah,
Just give it a second.
Yeah.
We are a little bit behind on that one. Just it always works that way. Maybe this is
There
right.
we go. Boom.
All right.
And
Bingo.
Not bingo yet.
Not yet.
There you go.
there's your bingo.
Wow, look at that.
It's got a toilet on it, dude. It's like literally, how could you get any better as a bike?
And it's a trike.
It is a trike.
That is a trike, but it had a toilet, so I just had
That's
to
all
have
right.
it.
It's a
Now,
motorcycle engine.
This
it's
could
fine.
go dark, but I would like to think that the owner of that motorcycle was previously in a motorcycle accident and can no longer ride
So,
incontinent, perhaps.
oh.
or go to the bathroom on their own.
See, I was thinking they like really long trips, and they don't want to keep stopping.
So you're thinking those black bins behind are gas tanks, so they don't ever have to stop.
For sure.
Possible.
Yeah.
Possible.
So that's like the long ride.
Here's my only problem with the bike at all. I still feel like you have to pull over to use the toilet, like because your pants are going to be up, right? Like you can't pull your pants down.
Maybe
right?
you got
Guess.
special pants, chaps.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Bikes.
assless chaps are really popular.
Yeah. Apparently, according to Paul, also Bruce is worth $500 million. John Bond's worth $410.
Not selling your Harley argument with the assless chaps.
Bruce is the boss. He is.
Yeah, apparently Bruce has more money than Bon Jovi, but not by as much as I would have thought.
Oh, it's
Both
pretty-
almost
wow.
worth $500 million.
Moderator Paul. Well, just dropping facts. Let's go.
Thank
to the
you,
next
Paul.
one.
Thanks for the shout out
Yeah.
on Instagram too. Thanks, Paul.
All right,
oh,
so
that was nice. Yeah.
So are we digging it or are we ditching it?
I'm digging it.
I'm digging
I would
it
just,
too.
you know what? I'm gonna ditch it actually
Okay.
because he could have
Brakes
got
aren't motorcycles.
well he could have got a cooler toilet to go with it.
That's super true.
It
He could've
does
got,
seem
like
like a
gold toilet or
compost
something.
toilet.
It looks like he just like
Got like
kicked apart a porter drum. It's like, yeah, I'll take it. Or like an airplane or something
All
like
right.
that.
That's super
It's like
true.
an airplane toilet.
It does. It does kind of.
Next one's
oh
coming
my
up.
God, it looks exactly like an airplane toilet. Now I can't
Yeah.
see it. Now it's
Might be what it is.
now it's burned into my
Give
brain.
it a second, it'll be up.
Yeah. Give
And
us
boom.
Oh yeah.
See, now for me, I immediately don't like it, not because of the design, but because I feel like it's going to be a pain in the butt to hold their handlebars the whole time.
I think it's a beautiful showpiece and a miserable riding piece.
Absolutely.
That's exactly
100% agree.
Okay. Yeah. So now
I dig it though.
I dig it too. Yeah. Now let me ask you this: is there any possibility that this was even a real bike to start with, or he built that completely from scratch? If you had to guess,
I would have guessed you built that completely from scratch. It looks like a sculptor or something like that. You just don't.
It's better be fast though, dude.
Yeah.
If
it's not fast. It's definitely loud, but it's not fast.
Yeah. You're cruising on that. You're not trying to get anything.
You're not ripping donuts or
dig it or ditch it.
I dig it.
I dig it. I put it in my office.
Yeah,
I just let people look at it like I'm a badass.
If I had the money and I really wanted to have a pissing contest with somebody, be like, hey, check out my garage and look at this dragon bone Harley I got.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no way for you to be considered a soft dude if you're riding around on this.
For real.
Unless you... I don't know. Unless there really is a lawnmower engine in there and it's going like 4 miles an hour.
This.
Yeah, now this is a motorcycle.
I actually started busting out laughing when I saw this. I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know why he's in
it's Michelin. That's a Michelin man.
A State Plus marshmallow shoot. Yeah, I agree, but
But I'm saying it's right there right on the side of the bike. Michelin.
Looks like he's gonna have more trouble riding it because of the suit he's wearing.
Well, it's a mono wheel attached to a steering column. It looks like.
Are you riding this? If this is like your only form of transportation,
ditch that.
You walking or you riding?
I'm walking.
I guess we're ditching it.
I'm walking, baby. I'm walking.
All right, but this thing might go faster than the last bike.
True. Quite possible.
Very possible.
All right, so I
think we're all ditching it.
I am going to ditch it. My only real, you can switch already, but my only real concern is that right in front of my face is a wheel. That's my main issue.
Yeah.
Like I've seen those things before, but not with that goofy outfit.
Next one's coming up for you.
Okay, I love that one. All right, what else we got here? This is the John Deere motorcycle. Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah. Dig that.
Dig that? All right. Yeah.
I dig it. They were using the actual seat from an old tractor.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't even notice that. That is pretty impressive. I still am ditching it.
Cool.
I'm hoping it's if it's made from actual John Deere parts or pieces that were repurposed, I'm super into it.
Look, even the seat is really, you're right, the seat's really cool. Now, I'm still ditching it only in this sense. If I want a car, I want it to be cool. I don't want it to be a tractor. That's just me. I'd rather have something badass. If I'm going to pay all this money and design something, I don't want it to look like a tractor.
Yeah, if this is sitting out in front of the John Deere factory, cool as shit.
Cool, then.
Well, put it this way, too. If you're a guy on that thing, you're going to get a lot of attention from a lot more guys.
Chicks aren't like,
oh my God, is that a John Deere between your legs? Yeah, it is.
You said Men in Black. I thought that last bike was in...
the mono wheel was.
Was it Men in Black?
One of them.
See, I thought it was in... oh my God, give me a second. Wild Wild West. Remember in Wild Wild West, that guy has a bike just like that?
Does he?
Yeah, he has like a bike and it's got this massive wheel and he sits on top and then it flies. It's like a little flying motorcycle. All right, we're moving on. But that is
forgotten gem there, Nick. Wild Wild West is an awesome movie.
Wild Wild West gets a lot of shit. Actually, apparently Will Smith to this very day gets heat from people who say how awful of a movie it is. I still think that movie's kind of funny. I laugh at it.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
Yeah. This is gonna be our last one.
The thing about the neck too, that's horrifying. I don't even know what that is.
I'm pretty sure it's made out of 2x4s.
I kind of like it, but I also entirely hate it.
I ditch that.
Ditch it?
Before he bursts into flames.
I don't know. The only reason I'm into it is if this is in some sort of end of days situation where they've crafted this from parts they found.
Yeah,
this looks like a bike that Charlie Day would put together. And It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, for sure. Check out my sweet ride.
Oh, it's got this Harley.
I'm pretty sure it has a squeeze clown horn on the front there.
Awesome. Okay.
Gotta love that.
Yeah.
It at least gets unique points, right?
This guy was going through a divorce and he took the deck with him.
It literally looks like it might be the wheel from an actual bicycle on the front. Like a spoked wheel from an old school
here's the only thing
Huffy.
Here's the only thing he did right. It might be lighter than most bikes, right?
True.
Yeah.
No metal on it, right?
It might get hell of a gas mileage.
It might be hell gas mileage. It might be a little faster. You know what I mean? It might be all right.
Take a corner too fast and that thing's going to snap.
Yeah. Pinocchio's like, Dad?
Very true. There's no other ones we got there?
That's it.
All right. That's enough motorcycles. I love it. Fun game. All right. I don't think we have anything else, man. It's been a pretty good time, right?
Yeah, we've been doing well.
Yeah.
Unless we want to do your petty.
Yeah, but my phone's dead. Yes.
Do you want me to try and do your petty?
Yeah, go for it. You want to rock it off?
Petty?
Every show I do what's called a petty story of the week. The petty stories just crack me up. Anytime people are doing really ridiculously petty stuff. My favorite so far was a guy in the middle of the country somewhere, Montana or something. He really wanted to build a garage in his backyard, but all these stupid zoning laws and all this dumb shit. Like they just kept telling him, no, it was too tall, it was too this, and he went for years trying to build this garage, and it was just this massive pain in the butt. But they apparently told him that certain things were okay, like statues and stuff. So he built this massive, like 100-foot statue, and it's maybe the size of like a car, and it's just a middle finger flicking off the whole town, and like there's lights all over it and everything. And apparently that is completely legal. There's nothing wrong with that, but his garage broke like every code. So he put that.
That's hilarious.
Now it's turned into like turned into like a state thing. Like everybody goes and like sees this middle finger.
We've been spending a lot of time in Colorado where my wife's family lives there, and we go to see her grandparents who live in Evergreen. And on the way there, there's one of her neighbors was like gifted or won this like steel wrought iron like horse, and he had nothing. He like has no idea what he wants to do with this. So he leaves it out in his front driveway, and he puts a mannequin on it, and he always dresses it up in like different outfits.
That's awesome.
So it's like now it's like starting to become like a hey, come to Evergreen, check out this mannequin on a horse.
Yeah. Oh, but let me ask you this: is it really heavy?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm thinking maybe that's the only reason people haven't stole it from his front
Well,
yard.
that's because it's like a 900-pound like horse.
Yeah.
That's
So
really
it's
funny.
lighter than a regular horse?
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's really funny. Yeah, the guy like flicked off the whole city, and now, like I said, it's become like a state thing for everybody to look at. I just love the pettiness of it. So,
That's awesome.
All right, so apparently there's a livestock farmer.
let me get a sound effect. Though. Let me get you on here.
Petty story of the week.
I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah, this is a segment. Yeah, this is new for you.
So there's a livestock farmer over in England. Apparently, his field was targeted 25 different times by people dumping tires in his out in his field. So he hired a detective.
I love the pettiness already.
Yeah, hires a detective to find out who the person is that's dumping the tires. They use like CCTV and all this stuff, and they actually find out it's the same person doing it every time.
Just the same prick
person
dropping off tires.
So this guy spends 3 days cleaning up the tires at this guy's house or in his field, tracks down where this guy lives, and then fills this guy's front yard with these tires. So I'm gonna see if I can put this photo up.
That's really funny, actually.
That is petty.
Let me ask you this. I've never hired a detective, right? And it's not like you can just like go to a strip mall and be like, oh, they have a detective place over there, right? Like where do you get one that
Next to the Burger King.
Yes, that's where I get all my detectives from. My question is like legitimately, if you go to look it up, they're like, oh, I'm like you like Google search a detective. Wow, is there even criteria? Like, how would you even know you're getting a good one?
Right. How do you know it's not some just like weirdo?
Like me just raking in money as I do no research.
How do you know he's a real investigator, not like a paranormal investigator?
So here it is.
All right.
Here's the tires being dropped off.
Okay. Wow, they just dumped it in his front lawn.
So we'll mute that. But so
Just come to my land and
he found.
they spell tires wrong, by the way.
Yeah, that's England for you. But so they put them all in this guy's like porch and patio and everything.
Yeah.
To fill it up. Here it is. This guy right here. Boom. Of course. So junky.
What's up?
No, I just wanted the picture, not the. So
Dude, I wonder if did the other guy respond?
So
Fly tipper? What is that? What's a fly tipper?
Where does it say that at?
I don't know.
Where's fly tipper?
It said he was a fly tipper. That's the
A farmer plagued by a fly tipper.
I think that's maybe like.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is
that's a new one.
that is a really new term. I mean, I literally can't even context clue figure out what it's supposed to mean.
Come on,
All
chat.
right.
What is
What's a fly tip?
what's a
We'll
fly
get on
tipper?
that.
Paul fly tipper.
Fly tip tires. So
Oh.
I don't know, but there it is.
That is so
That's awesome.
funny, dude.
And
I
they said
heard
they
that, yeah.
purposely stacked them and everything into his yard, so he had to clean them up. So they
Kind
didn't
of
just
looks
dump
like the
them in
guy
front.
has kids based on
Yeah.
his window, which makes it really funny, dude.
Loved it.
You know, if this is actually a pettiness that I'm totally on board with. After the petty story, we normally talk about if it's too petty. To me, there's nothing too petty about this. You took all your shit and you gave it to somebody else as their responsibility, and they said, "Nah, this is your
Because
responsibility."
it costs money to get rid of like tires.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
so
for sure.
like it's not cheap.
You
So
have
I
to pay,
get
like,
why
all
they
those,
were
like,
dumping them.
Recycling fees
Yeah.
and pollution. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Can't you get money for a tire though? Can't you take it somewhere and they take
Not
the
really.
rubber? No.
Not really.
Not
no.
anymore.
No. It ends up in Staten Island if somebody builds a house on it.
That's awesome.
But I thought that was fantastic.
Fly tipper in British English, flat noun, a person who deliberately dumps rubbish in an unauthorized place.
Rubbish. I love
Yeah.
that.
That
There you go, Paul. Thank you.
British.
You know it's a British term. Yeah, you bloody wanker.
Yeah.
Piss
Oh,
off.
he got me. He left his ties on. I guess it's over with.
Bloody fly tipper. All right, that is. Man, we're gonna have to get like a sound clip of fly tipper, dude. I love fly tipper. All right, guys. I hope you guys had a good show today, man. We had some other segments, but we have run really long, which I was hoping we would because I like the part of the segments where we get to talk to the people that we bring in the show. Because Jason, you were fantastic today, man. You had so many cool stories, so many cool things to say, so many good topics you brought up, just inadvertently.
Thank you.
So any other shout outs you want to do, man? But really, I had a blast having you on, man. You definitely got to have you back.
Thank you very much. Yeah, this was awesome, guys. I'd love to be back some other time and continue our conversations or the stories you guys want to know. But yeah, this was awesome. It's like this would be one of the last things that I do in Los Angeles for some time. So this was fun.
Oh, cool. Yeah, and it's cool. Like I said, even for you, somebody that hasn't done it before, being able to have like an interactive chat as you podcast, it kind of changes the dynamic a little bit.
It does. Yeah, it makes it a lot. You feel connected.
Yeah, you can almost like instantly say like, oh, I meant to say this, or I meant to. Oh, this. Yeah, it's a good point. You don't miss things. So I really like having people there. But guys, if you had a good time, if you haven't before, go ahead and hit that follow button. And if you would like to just say thank you to the podcast for being here every Monday and Thursday, there's a subscribe button. Like I said, if you do link it with your Amazon Prime, you can do it for free. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does give us money. We hope you guys had a good time. We are going to do something that we do at the end of the show called Raid.
Or we're going to try to.
We're going to try to. What raiding is basically we take our viewers, we go to another person that's streaming currently, and we dump all our viewers onto them. And just a nice way to say, like, here's some viewers. Hope you have a good time. Yeah,
we're going to try this one out. These guys, I like their name. No Teleprompter Thursday.
Okay, cool.
And thank you again, Paul, for the Instagram thing. If you guys want to know whenever these films are coming out, the first one's Beneath the Green. That should be coming out later this year. And the second one's called The Tale of the Daughter and the Dyke.
There you go.
Hey, follow my Instagram, and I'll have all the updates on there for you.
The Instagram is in the chat there. Paul already threw it up. Paul, thank you for being just Johnny on the spot all the time, man. You're a badass. Paul's job responsibility is really cool. Anytime somebody gets out of line, he can just ban them from the chat. So so we give him all the balance.
So we're going to check these guys out.
The Wizard of Oz.
That's right. Hey guys, thanks for following us along. Another good clip here. Make sure to catch us out on Twitch and hit that subscribe button right here.